bro.
You been busy lately,
Yeah, I'm
man.
all right, you know.
You,
Yeah, 'cause remember I got my single coming out tomorrow. I
yeah,
got a new single. Like I'm singing now, innit? I got a rock tune. It's like
yeah.
alternative rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Pray For You. So it's about like, hold on, let me turn this TV.
Okay.
You know, like when you're with someone or even in love with someone, and then you know it's so deep, like they're part of your life, and you pray for them. You're always praying for them, and then they turn around and just basically disappoint you. You get me? So the tune's called "I Used to Pray For You." You get me?
Tell me what inspired you to do it?
I probably think girls, certain girls.
Mm.
You get me? More than likely when I was in prison and that, because I draw a lot of inspiration from being in prison.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
do. I draw a lot of inspiration from being in prison, because in prison I took notes. I used to keep diaries and that. Do you get me?
Mm.
So I can always go and look back on the things in it, and when I read them now, because I read them, I'm in songwriter mode. I look at the
Mm.
thing and think, oh, yeah, I can make something out of that, like a chorus, a few
Mm.
lines. You get me?
Mm.
Like, I got books and books. Yeah, big up everyone. I got books and books of disappointment. You get me, bro? Books and
So
books of
when
it.
you say pray for you, are you singing? Are you singing it from them praying for you, or you praying for them, or you praying for a situation? Where does the pray for you come from?
No, I'm saying that I used to pray for them. You know, I used
Oh,
to keep them in my prayers. Like, I used to love them and that.
oh.
I love them so much that I used to keep them in my prayers, and then they turn around and diss me. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yes, maniac. Respect. Huh?
Do you know what? I respect you for that. I respect you for that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that well, before I assume it so when you say pray, are you kind of talking about God in it, or are you just saying, listen, this is how I used to feel? Where
No. When I'm talking to God, I'm praying that He protects them and make sure they're safe when they're out there and they got everything they need and nothing happens to them. I
I
keep them in
love
my
that.
prayers.
I
Do you
love
get what I'm
that.
saying?
I love that. I love that.
Mm.
So much respect for that. So much
Mm.
respect for that. I think that's powerful. Yeah, massive
Mm-hmm.
respect for that. And the reason why I say massive
Mm-hmm.
respect for that, because I think we need songs like that nowadays. We need songs that
Mm-hmm.
moves away from obviously all what we know, the violence, the sex, the
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So I love that. I love that. I think that's powerful. Just keep going on
Mm-hmm.
that trajectory. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And so how's it looking
Yeah.
so
Well.
far?
Well. I put out the link for people to pre-save. I've had a few hundred pre-saves, which is very good because the PR company said the biggest bands don't even get at 2,000. Do you get what I'm saying? So he said even if I get 50, it'll be good, and I got a couple hundred, so that's quite good.
Mm, mm.
So
Keep going, bro,
expect
man.
everyone who presses pre-save link expect a notification tomorrow. And where I've changed the sound, I just thought, you know what it is? I need to get out of the way of, you see the people you were talking about just then. Well, not the people you're talking about, the kind of music you was talking about. Like,
Mm,
I need to get out of them people's way. Because you know what I realized, yeah, when I've been in that industry, yeah, there was a lot of insecure people in there. And
mm.
it comes down to the thing we were talking about. You see what you talk the thing that you sent me that we're talking about today. What's it called again? The Hamslot. What is it called?
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, I
Maslow's,
was
yeah.
reading one part. People that desire they want respect and recognition. It's like it's I don't even think this is the word they use, but it's kind of like a childish thing. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, like people who need that. Bro,
Mm,
I don't need that. I moved far away from that ages ago. And a lot of people in that industry, when they see someone like me come in that industry, not even that industry, in that genre, it was like, raw. You know, that man really done it. Yeah, so they feel inferior around man. And I don't really care about that. I just want to hear to be to change my life. We all make music together. But because of the way they feel and what they're trying to be, is like, yeah, they were just getting in my way too much time, started ganging up on me and that. I thought, yeah, I need to get out of there. I need to get out of there. But the thing that did make me change my music was when I kept on playing my tunes to my mom and my grandkids and that, I always used to pause it and stop it when I knew the rude parts are coming. Do you get what I'm saying? And I had to chat to them and say, yeah, try to distract them. And
Right,
then
yeah, yeah,
forward it a little bit.
yeah,
I
yeah,
used to do
yeah.
that, and I thought, no, I can't be doing this no more, man. This is ridiculous. Because my granddaughter, she be singing the song until that point. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I stop it. Do you get what I'm saying?
So what
And
you're
now
really
she
saying
knows,
is, so what you're
huh?
saying is, what you're saying is, you're in a place of maturity and sense of self now, where you're thinking
Hmm.
about legacy. Like, don't make anything my mother or my grandchildren cannot listen to.
Yeah, if I can't be proud and listen to that, it's just like when we was committing crime. I
Mm,
didn't want them to see that. It's the
mm,
same kind of vibe,
I
isn't it?
love that.
You know,
I
I
love
might
that.
come and show you a bit of money or show you some nice clothes, and you think I'm doing well, but I'm not actually showing you the actual way I got it. You're not actually seeing the event, what took place when I grabbed the person and threw them on the road on the side of the road and took their money and stuff like that. You ain't seeing that part. Do you get what I'm saying? Or when I gave the person the drugs and they're gone home and their kids starving and they're still licking the pipe. Do you get what I'm saying? I ain't showing you that part of my life. Do you get what I'm saying?
Do,
You
do,
should see me with clothes and nice money. Huh? Say that again, bro.
you know
Go on.
what? And I love that. And I'll tell you the reason why I love that, because I always talk about, I think I would never stop talking about it. I always say two things. I always say your behavior today becomes your legacy tomorrow. So what
Mm-hmm.
do you want your legacy to be? That's
Mm-hmm.
number one I normally say. And the second one I say is, if God forbid you passed away and your friends and family was on the altar and they were talking about you, write down 5 things you want them to say about you. And
Mm-hmm.
those 5 things always tend to be things that they're not doing on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They want they want people to talk about them, in the sense of they were loving, they were kind, they were good people, they were. And I say, well, is that your behavior today? So I love
Mm-hmm.
the fact that now you're in a place where you're saying, my music today, I want it to reflect my relationship with my friends and my family and my children, which is
Mm-hmm.
obviously family, and my mother, which is obviously
Mm-hmm.
family as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and I think that is powerful, and I
Mm-hmm.
respect that. I respect that.
Hey, you know what you just said then as well? You just said this coke is flat, boy. I just needed something. You know, after waking up, I just needed something to drop on. And because I thought we was live, I just ran in. I just didn't care. I just grabbed it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what you just said is, you said people like the did you say the people like or people do what they the 5 things they'd want them to say about them?
So it's yes, so I say the 5 things that you want people to say about you. Are you doing that today in your
No,
behavior?
no. What I wanted to say, no, I heard them 5 things. I'm
Oh,
saying,
right.
was it you who wanted them to say it, or was it the people that say it? But I just got the answer. It's 5 things that you would want people to say about you. That's
Yes,
what you said,
yes,
innit?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
find, you know, when people die and that, even if they're bad, people say them 5 things about them. You know that? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, they don't believe it though. They don't believe it.
Yo, this guy's a killer and that. They're saying, yeah, he was loving, he was kind, he was doing
Yeah,
this and he was
and
doing that.
everyone's saying, even the family members are like, "You sure you're the right funeral? are, you, are you sure you're
Oh
the right
man.
funeral?"
Yeah, I know it's mad. It's mad,
And
but it's true though. But it's time we start taking control of that instead of making our family stand up and lie for us just to save face. Do you get what I'm
and
saying? It's
also as
time we
well,
take
it's
control of that.
heartbreaking to our families. Do you know what I mean?
Of
If you think
course,
about it,
of
right?
course,
We
and we
go
know
through
them differently as well.
Yeah, we go through from average, 6 to 10 months of pregnancy, right? So we're born
Mhm,
within that time, premature or, and
mhm,
then so we got to deal with pregnancy. We got to survive that. A lot of embryos don't survive it, right? And
mhm,
then we go through the birth itself. And some children, some babies, some people die at birth. Then you got to
mhm,
survive that. Then you got to survive cot
mhm,
death. Then
mhm,
you got to go through cot death. Then you got to survive measles and all those kind of things.
mhm,
Then you got to survive nursery. Then you got to survive primary school. Then you got to survive secondary school. And then you turn out
mhm.
to be an arsehole. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's like you've gone through so much in life, and then all of a sudden we fail our parents, you know.
Yeah.
And so at some point it's nice when we, massively me included,
Mm.
when we turn around and we
No, Baba, stay out, Baba. Sir,
when
my
no problem,
granddaughter's
that's
gonna
fine.
come in the room.
when
Go on.
when we start to please our family, when we start to please our
Mm-hmm.
children, our grandchildren, our parents, because no matter what we do, it hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
It does hurt them. It does hurt them. And it's funny that you say that, because the conversation we're having today is about those hierarchy of needs. You know,
Mm-hmm. I
um,
put it in the thumbnail. Did you see it?
oh,
It
you
was
put
in
it
the
in there.
thumbnail.
Yeah,
It's already there
yeah,
already. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And the reason why I think that's important is a lot of us, as we're growing, because we don't get the fundamentals right, our frustration sometimes sends us in a direction where we just make bad decisions and we can't understand
Mm-hmm.
why and how we keep on going up. Do you remember the game Snakes and Ladders?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in Snakes and Ladders, when you get to the ladder, you go up the ladder, but if you get bitten by the snake, you go back down again. And what
Mm-hmm.
I've realized overall is the reason why we tend to go down more snakes than go up more ladders is because we don't have the fundamentals in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because we've discovered there's many of us that's discovered more ladders than snakes
Mm-hmm.
in our lives. We want to kind of go back now and now say to people, listen, here's the ladders and here's the snakes. There's a science to the
Mm-hmm.
game. And the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
science of the game is the Maslow hierarchy of
Yeah.
needs. Do you understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
what it was when we were younger, we weren't taught. I wasn't taught, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe I don't want to speak for you, but
No, I wasn't. I wasn't taught anything.
yeah, we were
Just to be
taught the
bad.
foundation and the fundamentals.
No,
And
no,
and
no,
I
no. There was no
and I like
rules.
yeah, sure. And I like to think that we can now come back and say to people our age
Mm-hmm.
and the younger generation underneath us, and obviously people
Mm-hmm.
who are older as well.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the fundamentals, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to go back to the fundamentals. And I was really thinking about um, why don't we go back and deal with the fundamentals? And
Mm-hmm.
here's the reason why we don't go back. Here's a few of the reasons why we don't go back and do the fundamentals, which then causes us to have pain in our later life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of them is titles is a very dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Titles, right? Titles blind us to other people, and titles actually blind us to ourselves as well. So let me give an example, right? A lot of priests got away with,
I get it.
yeah, abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Not because of who they were, but it's because the title named priests.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of uncles and fathers or stepfathers and that were abusive to children that weren't their children or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the family members said, no, that's uncle, man. Uncle never.
Mm-hmm.
Title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Mm-hmm.
think about the costume of a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Title. You get what I'm
Just like
saying?
that woman that got killed by the policeman the other day. He
Yes,
took her off the street in Clapham. She
exactly.
thought
And
she was safe. She's with a policeman. Mm.
exactly, once again, title. So
Mm-hmm.
titles blind us to who those people are from an external perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and title also blinds us to ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
title
Mm-hmm.
blinds us to ourselves because we now live in a place called ego. And so, do you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's like, well, that's Q. And all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
if enough people say that's Q, you get caught up in your
Mm-hmm.
own Q bubble. Right,
In
that's
your own
Kevin Bennett.
ego.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden you're caught up in your own Kevin Bennett bubble. Oh, that's that person. And they get caught up in their own bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
titles is dangerous externally, and titles are dangerous internally. And
I get embarrassed by title now, by that title, what you was talking about. I'm
yeah,
embarrassed by it. Because you
yeah.
know the way they react in that. I'm actually embarrassed. Like, you don't
Mm.
even know what it took for me to be this embarrassed. And you think it's exciting. Do you get what I'm saying? It's mad, bro. It's mad.
Wow. Tell me why you're embarrassed. I'd love to hear your views on it.
Because you know what it is, yeah. Because you see the way they're acting towards me, I'm no longer interested in that. Like I've lost a lot of things because of what you think is exciting. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't find that exciting. Like I lost years. I lost years in my family. I've lost money. I've lost even PTSD that I'm going through right now. Even sometimes when you bring all that stuff to me, I'm like, is this guy for me or against me? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's all these different things going in my mind where I want to be so far away and move from what you think Quincy means. Because Quincy don't mean that to me. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? That's what I feel. So when they come in and they act, because some people, you know what they do? That's why I even have to stop going out, because some people, I go out and they start acting up more, thinking that's what I want to see. When I don't, I just want to have a good time and go home. Do you get what I'm saying? Want to have a release from where I am and go home. Then you lot start coming up to me, yeah, yo, hey, big bro, any man touch you, I fuck them up. I'm like, brother, I'm good. What are you talking about? I'm fine. There's no beef in here. Like, stop giving yourself a job that I'm not putting out applications for. Do you get what I'm saying?
I
I'm
love
good.
that.
Do
Don't
you
give
get?
yourself a job and not apply you for an application.
I'm not asking them to apply for that, and I am good. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm confident in God. If it brought me this far, and I keep being this person, God will bring me where I need to. That's what I believe in. Do you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'll be walking around with a gun every fucking day. Do you get what I'm saying, brother? And I don't. Do you get what I'm saying, brother? I believe in God. Like I got through so much stuff because of God that I believe He can get me out of anything as long as I stay away from that negative person I used to be. That's what I believe. That's like the pact I've made with God. Do you get what I'm saying?
You know what? I love that you say that. I love that you say that. I
Yeah.
heard something recently, and it said, "Don't go to the party with God and leave the party with the devil." And
Exactly, bro. That's
yeah,
big. Yeah.
and yeah, and for me, I don't listen. I can't stop praising God enough.
Mm.
I praise God externally, internally. I mean, like I've got so much gratitude when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to my relationship with God. Do you know what I mean? And I think it
Serious
took a
thing,
little
innit?
while to get there, to be honest with you. I think it took a little
Mm-hmm.
while to get there. And it's funny that you say that when it comes to names as well. Um,
1 sec, 1 sec. Keep that name, keep that thing what you're gonna say. Yeah.
sure.
Hey, we got my friends in the comments, yeah. He's keeping everyone entertained. Jermaine, he's answering everyone. He's answering everyone. He's very clever like you as well, Kev. Yeah, Jermaine Barron, right? My brethren,
Respect.
right? He's there. But what was I saying to you then? No, why did it take long? Why did it take a bit long? Because obviously mine was quick, but mine was quick because of the situation I was in. So I just wanted to know, why did yours take a bit of work?
Because I didn't understand the language of God.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand when God was talking to me. I wasn't in tuned. So times that I was going through pain and I felt like God wasn't walking with me was times when God was walking with me, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand. There's a saying that it had in most Jamaican black families, and it was footprints in the sand. And I think
Mm-hmm.
even DMX spoke about the footprints in the sand as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah, I remember that.
When we were saying, yeah, when we were saying, God, when I saw your steps beside me, and then next minute I saw just one set of footsteps in the sand.
Footprints.
Where was you?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and in those moments, I was like, God, where was you when I was going through certain things? But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand the language that God was carrying me.
Mm-hmm.
God was carrying me when there was one footstep, when there was one trail of
Mm-hmm.
footsteps in the sand. And
And when you
so
thought
I
he
didn't
wasn't there, he was,
when I
basically.
exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
it's only since I truly understood and really started to have a relationship with God, I started to see my blessings in real time. And I
Mm-hmm.
started to see when the devil was working, and I started to see when God jumped in and say, "Not today, not today,
Mm-hmm.
devil." You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and in order to have a relationship with God, you have to have massive discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the number one things you have to have when you have a relationship with God is discipline, because we want things to happen in our own time. And when
Mm-hmm.
devilish people come for us, we want God to kick in that moment. We just want to adjust
Mm-hmm.
everything to our own time. And it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work that way.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes we have to hold back and allow the cycle to play its part. And then, you know, it starts to form into what it needs to form into, and then we
Mm-hmm.
realize,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now it's our time for us to grow. It's our time for us to be in a place of greatness. But I also as
Mhm.
well, sometimes we have to go through pain in order for us to understand our character, in order for us to understand who we are, and in order for us to understand
Yes,
that
cat.
it takes it it takes it takes all different spices to make a gourmet meal, and those
Mhm.
different spices are different happenings happening to you at different times in your life. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, there's no great meal with just salt alone, and there's no great meal with pepper alone. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no great meal with paprika alone. There's no great meal with all-purpose seasoning alone. It takes
Mhm.
all
Mhm.
of them to come together. But
Get
you
come
need to
together.
take,
Yeah.
yeah, you need to learn each different ingredient, each different
Mhm.
seasoning in order for you to come
Yeah.
together and say, I'm now going to make you a meal, which
And
to
not all of
simply
them go
mean
together either.
exactly, and they all don't go together as well.
Yeah.
But you have
It
to go
depends on
through
what you're
each,
cooking. Depending on what you're cooking. Depending on what you're cooking.
and that's what you
Yeah.
call wisdom and
Mhm.
experience.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we need
Mhm.
to go through wisdom and we need to go through experience in order
Mhm.
for us to say, I'm now a Michelin star chef when it comes to
Mhm.
life. Do you understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. You
And
gotta go
so,
through all them fuck ups when you putting the wrong spice on it and
yeah,
messing
you're
up
gonna
and thinking,
poison
oh
yourself
shit,
when
this
you
tastes
down there. You may
rubbish.
you
Look
may
at
poison
everyone's face
yourself.
thinking, nah, that's not good. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You gotta go
And
through all of that.
you just may poison yourself once or twice as well.
Yeah, yeah, and have
You
a
know?
bellyache. It should happen. Well, you know what you were saying? Yeah, you were just saying a minute ago about the bad things happening, and then you gotta make it play out. Basically, do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah, I
yeah.
found I found that out. Yeah, I found that out. Yeah, was right in prison. Right, I had to do a lot of fighting in it. Right, and then what happens is always also this like sometimes the screws don't need to come for me, if you get what I'm saying, because I'll just bang up. Yeah, like I'll be bang up on guy myself. But it's like when they hear it was me, they used to enjoy coming for me, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like I got to the process where, see, when they come for me, I just to close my eyes and just pretend that it's not happening. Do you get what I'm saying? And then by the time I get to the block and they're gone, it's like nothing happened, bro. But before, what I used to do is I should be struggling with them. And it used to take longer. And then sometimes I might even have tears in my eyes and I'm thinking to myself, God, why are you doing this to me? Do you get what I'm saying? But then he just taught me just to, when they come, just close your eyes, don't struggle, and let them take you to the block. Do you get what I'm saying? I learned that over a certain amount of time. But first I was blaming God. Why are you doing this to me? Even though I bloody I'm the one that had the fight. Did you get what I'm saying? I'm asking God, why did he do this? But it was just like when they were beating me, it was more than necessary. That's why I was asking God, why are you making him do this to me? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take long to get to the block, but they were taking long. Do you get what I'm saying? Like stopping, kicking me up, punching me up, stop him again, put him down, kick him up. But all the time, after a while, I just realized as soon as they come, close your eyes, make your body loose, and then there's really nothing. You can't really feel nothing then. Do you get what I'm saying? And I learned that. Do you actually taught me that?
Who's that?
Arthur Penny. Can you believe that?
Serious.
R.I.P. Yeah, he taught me that. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
That's one thing he taught me as an elder. He taught me. He said, "Listen,
Wow.
see, when they come for you, yeah, just don't make no noise, yeah, and don't struggle." I remember
Mm,
he said that to me. Cause you see, the more you struggle and the more you make noise, it's like they enjoy it more. Do you get what I'm
mm.
saying?
The
If you just
energy.
relax, yeah, if you just relax and don't make no noise, it just becomes a straightforward from A to B. Do you get what I'm saying? But they enjoy it. When you start making noise, say fucking this, fucking that. Yeah, they love it. They go, and just give you some more.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
So,
R.I.P.
so
Arthur
yeah.
Penny.
R.I.P. to all of them out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. man. R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as well, guys, remember I got my book here as well. Who helps the
Mm-hmm.
helpline when the helpline
Come on.
needs help?
We'll
Yeah,
put it
just
in the link in the bio
yeah,
again.
yeah.
We'll keep
It's
putting it
on
in the link in the
Amazon,
bio.
or you can go to the website and I can sign the book for you. Whohelpsthehelpline.com. Um, but yeah, the reason why I want to talk about certain things as well today,
Thank you, sweet tea.
the reason why I want to talk about certain things today as well, Q, is because when I tend to talk to people from our community and just in general,
Sorry there, kid. As you intersected. Sorry, everyone. There's 3 dots at the top of the screen. Could you press those and press like, please? There's 44 of you in there. There's only 8 likes. It helps with the algorithm and it pushes the live out further to more audience. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, kid.
Yeah,
Kev, go
yeah,
on.
no problem, no problem. So what I'm seeing over and over again is people seem to either be embarrassed, afraid, or feel like, well, it's more embarrassed or afraid, fear,
Mhm.
of some type, to go back and do the fundamentals.
Mhm.
And my thing is, when we talk about the snakes and ladders, if we don't do the fundamentals, we're going
Mhm.
to be dealing with more snakes in our life than ladders.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so that's why we was talking about like the hierarchy of needs. You know, what
Mhm.
should come first, second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And the reason why I like to talk about it is I want us to grow. I
Mhm.
want you to grow. I want
Mhm.
I to grow. I want our community to grow.
Mhm.
And in order for us to truly grow, we need to go back and do the fundamentals again. We need to
Mhm.
go back to basics. And when we do the basics correctly, our children end up doing the basics, and their
Yep.
children end up doing the basics.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
normal habit.
everyone, yes, it becomes a cultural, societal, community habit of growth, you know.
Mhm.
And when I look at my elders growing up, they didn't have the basics in place. But because I was inspired by them, I then didn't
Mhm.
have the basics in place.
You was blinded. You was blinded by what they were doing. You didn't even
Exactly.
care
There
about
was
the
a
basics.
exactly, exactly. And so I would like for us to reintroduce the basics to those who don't
Mhm.
know that there is a basics to do first and foremost. Some
Mhm.
people don't believe there's a basics, or some people don't know there's a basics, but there's
Mhm.
basics to do. You know, please, guys,
Mhm.
please press the like button. It's very, very important, please.
Yeah. Please.
Um, so, for example, the basics. Here's the real fundamental basics. The fundamental basics is our physical, logical needs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and these needs, believe it or not, are basic things like breathing.
Mhm.
Now, people say naturally, we talk about we all breathe. If you don't breathe, you're dead. You know, it's
Mhm.
an easy one to say that, yeah.
Mhm.
But there's a way how to breathe,
Mhm.
and that way of breathing allows us not to have anxiety,
Mhm.
allows us to think clearer,
Mhm.
allows us to deal with stress properly, allows us to focus properly, allows us to communicate properly. That's why great singers know how to breathe from their diaphragm instead of
Mhm.
breathing from the wrong places because they're trained to
Mhm.
how to breathe.
Mhm.
But even with us, we don't breathe properly. Sometimes you got to say to
Mhm.
someone, calm down, breathe with me,
Mhm.
because we're back to
British.
breathing again. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the fundamentals is breathing. The fundamentals is eating the right food.
Mhm.
We need to be eating the right food. Once again, most of the younger generation genuinely believe that Morley's and KFC and
Chicken
all
and
of that,
chips.
yeah, is just the right food. You
Mhm.
know, you know that's a lot of people out there. I kid you not when I say this to you. Don't laugh.
No,
Yeah, don't
but
laugh. But
I laughed with somebody yesterday about chicken
no,
and
but
chips.
do you know a lot of people don't
Yeah.
actually generally know that when they're eating a so-called chicken from KFC, that a
Mhm.
chicken doesn't even taste like their chicken. They can't differentiate between the two. Or
Mhm.
when they
What do you
go
mean?
to the chicken's not the chicken from these places like Morley's and KFC is probably about 10% real chicken.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
don't even know the taste. I remember the
What
first time I
of
went
a
to
real chicken?
Jamaica.
Of a real
Yeah,
chicken.
yeah, they don't know the
Mhm.
difference.
Mhm.
I remember one of the
Mhm.
first time I went to Jamaica and I was eating chicken. It was so chewy. I couldn't get my head around why this was so chewy. It was fresh chicken
Mhm.
that they killed in front of me, where I couldn't even
Mhm.
eat it at first because I couldn't believe that
Mhm.
what you've just killed, I'm gonna eat, which doesn't make
Mhm.
no
Mhm.
technical sense. you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mhm.
So people need to go back to understanding the basics when it comes to food. This is why so much cancer is prevalent. This is why
Mhm.
so much people are 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 dying and becoming sick because
Mhm.
they're consumed from now a young age eating the
Mhm.
wrong foods.
Mhm.
So you know,
So what one of them one of them I wasn't sure, but one of them was sex, wasn't it? One of them ones at the bottom.
no, not at that point. So it's breathing, it's food, it's water, making sure we drink
Okay.
water. So
Mhm.
these are like the basic fundamentals that we need to be doing, drinking a lot of water,
Mhm.
having shelter as well, you know.
Mhm.
And when we say having shelter, it's living within your shelter. It's living
Mhm.
within your um it's living within an environment that you don't feel like you're homeless all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because we spoke about it last week as well, the week before.
Mhm.
Uh and when you don't have a shelter, as you spoke about as well, you
Mhm.
cannot focus properly. You
Mhm.
cannot you cannot think about trying to study when you have no shelter. Think
Mhm.
about trying to really be in love with yourself and the world around you when you have no shelter. So a lot of us kind of live from house to house, girl's house, friend's house, this sofa, this place,
Mhm.
that place. And so they can't focus, but yet they're going out buying the latest trainers and buying a nice car.
Mhm. And they're in
And
the party on the weekend
they're on a party in the weekend and their
with a bottle of
fundamentals,
rum.
their shelter's not in
Mhm.
place. And
Mhm.
so they're going from party and latest kicks and a nice chain to homelessness. Remember I was saying to you once again, snakes and ladders.
Mhm.
The ladder seems to be the jewelry, the ladder seems to be the car, the ladder seems to be the nice clothes, but then the snake once again brings you right back down because there's no
Mhm.
shelter. So the fundamentals
Mhm.
are not in place. And then there's sleep, getting enough sleep. Once again, the amount of people that are dropping down dead or having dementia or sick because of a lack of sleep is
Mm.
is mind blowing. So once again, we're back in that place where if you're not getting enough sleep, you're wearing the nice clothes, you're wearing the nice jewelry, you're driving a nice car, but you're predicted to die within the next 7 years because your sleep is out of sync and out of
Mhm.
pattern, right?
Mhm.
And you're not getting enough sleep. You're not getting, your 7 to 12 hours. You're not getting enough sleep. You're doing 4 hours or 5 hours or,
Mhm.
which, well, to say 8 to 12 hours, and you're not getting enough sleep. So once
Mhm.
again, those people are almost kind of predicted to die within a certain period of time, but also have
Mhm.
miserable lives as well. And also, I
Mhm.
wrote about it once again. I got to talk about it in my book.
Oh, yeah, I was
I,
gonna
I
say to you, put that book up 1 minute. Hey,
yeah,
maniac, it's upside down. Maniac, I beg you write this in the chat, please. Write this book
who helps the
and
helpline?
keep
Yeah,
writing it, please. Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, maniac. Love my bro.
Respect, my bro. Thank you. And the
Yeah.
book's on Amazon as well. Or if you want to go to the website and I'll sign it for you, it's whohelpsthehelpline.com.
Solly Montari said he read it. He said good book.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thanks.
Hmm.
Thank
What's the
you.
best part of the book that you like, Solly? Oh, caught it.
Yeah, that's how you catch people out. What's the best part of the book you're in? But yeah. So while you're working out, while you quickly read through the book quickly, so this, so this, so this, what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of um, a
He
lot
said the
of
questions. Kev, he said the questions.
no, that's cheating. What part?
It's me, Kwame, he
Yeah.
says. It's me, Kwame.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, he did read the book. Kwame did read the book, so we spoke
Okay,
about
okay.
it. He did, he
Yeah,
did,
man,
he
they
did, he
tried
did.
to get a reference, boy.
Yeah,
They
he
one that
did, he
said,
did, he did,
no.
he did. Yeah,
Say
he did.
nothing, Sully. All
Yeah,
right,
but
cool.
in the book, I talk about the fact that doctors and nurses were making massive mistakes
Mm-hmm.
when they was working with their patients because of lack of sleep deprivation,
Mhm.
and how surgeons as well were making mistakes because of sleep deprivation.
Mhm.
So when you're making, it's like a lot of car crash, a lot of car accidents are because of lack of sleep.
Mhm.
When you're working with certain type of dangerous machinery, a lot of mistakes are happening because of a lack of sleep. So the
Mhm.
fundamentals need to be in place, because once again, a lack of sleep brings you right back down the snake again, and it's not going to bring you up
Mhm.
the ladder. And then,
Mhm.
so that's the foundation that we need in place. We need our breathing in place. We need our food in place. We need our water intake in place. We need to make sure we have shelter. They're the fundamentals. We need to have clothing, and we need to be getting sleep. Now,
Yeah.
anyone that's looking past that in the fundamental areas and stages, they shouldn't be doing anything else, because they're going to end up going back in life over and over again. They're going to
Mhm.
keep on going back in life. Yeah. So I want those people who are not getting those fundamentals in place to focus on those. And once you've done it,
Mhm.
you press the save button. It becomes it
Mhm.
becomes a part of your lifestyle. It's just what you now do. Yeah. Then the next
Mhm.
stage is our safety and our security. Safety and
Mhm.
security is so important. So our safety security is connected to our health. Yeah.
Mhm.
Our health gives us our safety. Our health gives us our security. Our security is about also in our employment as well.
Mhm.
We can be employed for ourselves, or we can be employed by someone else. Either way it goes,
Mhm.
we need to make sure those fundamentals. Now, think about how much of us are in jail or going through so much things because we didn't get the employment side correct. So we're always
Mhm.
going back trying to make a bit of money, making mistakes, going to jail, or making mistakes, ending up here, or making mistakes. So once again, the fundamentals of getting our employment or our financial situation correct is so important. And then it's about property, owning our property, making sure that we have that in place.
Mhm.
And then after our property is making sure that our family and our social relationship and abilities are in place as well. That is so important. So the second part of making sure that we're growing is to make sure that our health is in place, our employment or our financial situation or our careers in place. The third part is our property. Make sure our property or our property portfolios are in place, to make sure that we're good with our family, to make
Mhm.
sure that we're connected with our family, and make sure that we've got a good social world around us. At least, like for
Mhm.
example, I have what I called my circle of confidence,
Mhm.
and my circle of confidence is first and foremost. So the circle starts in it starts with a small dot, and the small dot is me and God. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's my first relationship. The second one is me and my closest person, that person I can share
Mhm.
anything with. The third
Mhm.
one is
Jermaine.
yeah,
Yeah.
respect. Yeah. The third one is it gets wider, so it's more like, okay, this is my cool people, my 3 or 4 people that
Mhm.
I can confide in. I won't share everything with them, but I can
Mhm.
confide in them. And then the
Mhm.
fourth one would be, you know, it could be mentors, just a network of people. So as it gets wider and wider, it becomes more general. But when we start at the core, it would be like you and God, because God,
Mhm.
you're my number one, God. I'm sharing this with you.
Mhm.
Number two for some people may be their therapists. It may be their
Mhm.
psychiatrists where they can share something with. But we all need to have some form of family and social relationship or ability in order for us to connect combined overall. Um,
See that question there? See that question there, Kev?
what's that?
I see you looking down. It says, "You didn't mention yourself, Kevin. It all starts with you first." Hold on a minute. Hey, I keep talking. Yeah, I can hear my brother.
Sure,
She's fighting with
sure.
the other one.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, but once again, self is God. When I say self is God, I'm being respectful to God. I'm not. I don't have no hierarchy or no duality with God. But when I talk about God, God really is connected to self as well. So
Sorry, they're
yes,
off
when I'm
school, man.
talking to myself, I'm talking to God, and when I'm talking to God, I'm talking to self. And as I said, I'm not talking about me having any hierarchy over God, because I don't. God is a superior being. And when I talk about having a relationship with self, I'm talking about having a relationship with God. And I'm not saying I'm God in that sense as well. I'm just saying that the first step and stage starts with God, and God is us being respectful to God as well. So
Mm.
yeah, it does start from there. And then the third level is our is our love and belonging. So the third level, see, and the reason why love is not number one, love, um, yes, I have read that book, Autonomic Habits. Sorry. Um,
And I ain't saying nothing because right now I'm like the you lot. I'm learning right now, so
yeah.
I'm
Um,
like, let's go.
yeah. So the third one is love and belonging, and the reason why love and belonging is so important is because it can't be the first one. Be- And the reason why it can't be the first one because even in relationships, a lot of people go into a relationship looking for love because they didn't have the first two stages in place. They didn't have the sense of their health in place, the sense of self in place, the sense of understanding in place. So they go out into the world and they start looking for love in other people. And that's where trauma starts to happen because you
Mhm.
start to look at people as God in this kind of bizarre, bizarre way. And so love is the first stage.
So is that a red
Love,
flag then? That is a red flag, isn't it, Kev?
yes, it's a massive red flag.
Someone that don't look after their health, like there's things wrong in them and they don't get it. That's a red flag, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing: if someone doesn't have the fundamentals in place, then they're more likely going to destroy most relationships they're in,
Mhm.
even if they don't want to. But if you just don't have the
Mhm.
fundamentals in place, it's a bit like, okay, imagine you having a child with a woman who doesn't understand no concept of health. How is
Mhm.
she going to look after your child? How is she going to give
Mhm.
your child a healthy life? How is she going to give your child, if she's not doing it for herself, what's the likelihood
What if
of
she
her
don't want one? What if she don't want one?
want what?
A child.
No, I'm just giving that as an example. But once
Mhm.
again, we're back to it. If she doesn't want a child, but yet she wants to give you a healthy life, she can't give you something that she doesn't understand the concept of. Just like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people cannot love you if they don't understand the concept of love overall,
Mhm.
you know? And so love comes down the road. Love's come down the road. And once again, here's the thing, right? When you cannot focus, once again, we go back to breathing, we go back to sleep, we go back to drinking water. When you cannot, because they're all the contributions of focus. When you
Mhm.
cannot focus, believe it or not, you cannot love properly. You
Mhm.
cannot love properly when you cannot focus.
Mhm.
You know, when you don't have your health in place, it's very hard to love someone when your health is upside down. You may have
Mhm.
love for people, but the expression of love you cannot give.
Mhm.
You know, it's very, very hard to give. So love and belonging is third. And so love and belonging is the love with that creates friendships, the love of family, intimacy, the intimacy of love, the sense of connection with others. So if you're trying to have a sense of connection with other people, but
Mhm.
yet your health is not in place, that's very hard. If you're trying to have a
Mhm.
sense of connection with other people, but you're not sleeping, that's very hard. If you're trying to have a sense of connection with other people and you can't even breathe properly, that means you're gonna have anxieties and you're gonna have breakdowns. So all of those things are. This is why there's levels to doing certain things, and this is why sometimes you have to say to someone, "Listen, I want to be in a relationship with you. I
Mhm.
want to have a relationship with you. I see you as an amazing woman. I can see myself marrying one day. But go and do some work first, and then let's
Mhm.
work together." But it
Mhm.
doesn't make sense trying to get into a relationship, fixing that person, and that person may not be ready to be fixed, or that
That's
person
what I was gonna
may
say. They don't
be.
want to be fixed. They're all right as they are. Well,
Yeah,
they think they are
exactly.
anyway.
Or they may not be all right where they are, but what may be the problem as well is that you're trying to fix that person, but you don't know what you're unraveling in trying to fix them. There might be so much internal pain that is going
Mhm.
on in that moment of trying to be fixed that person now all of a sudden breaks down and ends up in a darker place,
Mhm.
or that person ends up resenting you for opening up a can of worms they are
Mhm.
not ready for. But because you're so forthright and ambitious, and you have that drive, because you see more in that person than they see for themselves,
Mhm.
they then all of a sudden now start to resent you because you're open up a can of worms they don't want you to open up.
Mhm.
And so we're back to that place again. We love the people
Mhm.
because we see a nice body. We love those people because we see nice clothes. We love those people because we see nice jewelry. But they haven't passed the basics.
Mhm.
And so when we're getting into relationships and when we're meeting people, we need to ask them the basics. Basic questions like, do you know how to breathe? It's a very strange question, but it's a very important question. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your food like? What do you eat? If me and a girl went on a date tomorrow, I'm asking her, what kind of food do you eat? Because her food is going to tell me a lot about her headspace. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm
I'm
going to
not
ask
even
her,
laughing. It's so real, but it's so real. It's so real.
yeah, I'm
It's
going
so
to
real.
ask her, how well is your sleep? I want to know, how well do you sleep? How often do you sleep? Because
Mhm.
based upon her sleep, I'm going to roughly know when she's going to die or start to end up in a dark
Man,
place with ill health.
man, it's so basic, but it's so real. It's mad.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to know about those kind of things. I want to know about her health. I want to know about her social connection. I want to know that how long have you had friends for? And those particular friends. I want to know, like, are you good at maintaining friendships? Because someone who's not good at maintaining friendships are not good at maintaining relationships.
Mhm.
And so all of those things are so, so, so important as well. So that's the third level. Then the fourth level is self-esteem. So self-esteem is now about your confidence. It's now about achievements. It's now about respecting yourself and respect of others. It's about the need to be a unique individual. So when you have when you have it in you to be a unique individual because you've got the fundamentals in place. Why are most people sheeps? Most people are sheeps because they don't know themselves. And you don't
Mhm.
know yourself when you don't have the fundamentals in place.
Mhm.
And if you don't have the fundamentals in place, you cannot maintain relationships properly.
Mhm.
You cannot maintain intimacy. You just can't. And this is why most people where we come from, bro, do not get married. We don't get
Mhm.
married. And the reason why we don't get married and we don't even entertain the idea of getting married, because the basics are not in place.
Mhm.
And so we jump from one set of people to another. We jump from one relationship, and I'm so guilty of that over the years. I've
Mhm. My
turned,
internet, stay there.
yeah, sure, sure, sure. So we jump from one relationship to another because we're looking for the fundamentals in other people when we should be ideally building the fundamentals within ourselves. And
Mhm.
so, you know, it's so important. And then the final stage is about really the place of self actualization, I believe it is. And that self actualization is about now um, truly serving others. Because when you serve others, is to serve yourself, and to serve yourself is to serve others. It's about understanding yourself from an inner place. It's about purpose. It's about
Mhm.
legacy. It's about acceptance, accepting who you are. And this is the reason why most
Mhm.
people has got their bums done and they're dying on operating tables. Most people are getting their breasts done and their breasts leaked, and now they've got other types of cancers and health issues that they're dealing with. It's about a lot of people doing things to themselves that's destroying themselves because they don't know themselves and they don't love themselves.
So what's the equivalent of that for a man? Because obviously, like what is the man's version of that? Because I know it's not looks. Do you get what I'm saying? It's something else.
Yeah,
Women,
brilliant question.
their things looks. You get me? So what is
What?
it for a man and man who's listening? Because obviously we highlighted something about the women, but what about the men? Because they're in the chat too, so they
Yeah,
can
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah,
these
yeah.
the
Yeah,
traps
so
and that.
yeah, the traps for men, once again, is that they buy external. Men tend to buy external things to impress people, to try and convince external
Hmm.
people that internally they're together.
Say that
So
again.
men tend to buy external things to prove to external people that they're internally together.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I thought you saying that two people were together. Okay, yeah, internally
Right.
together. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what
I get
men
it, I get
tend
it,
to
I get
do.
it, I get it.
Men tend to drink more
Yeah.
than they should. Men tend to take drugs. That's their, the way that they're destroying themselves. Men tend to have babies everywhere,
Mhm.
and destroying themselves and destroying other people because they're trying to
Mhm.
find some form of gratification in themselves and others. Men
And
tend
do
to,
things as well. Do things. Do things out of
yeah,
character,
yes,
bravado.
yes, yes,
Do something mad and get everybody nicked. Do you get what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly,
Because there's
exactly.
an audience. Because there's an audience.
But once again, where does the word personality come from? The word personality is a Latin word that comes from persona, and the word persona also comes from Latin, and it comes from personare or something like that. Someone
Hmm.
may please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's personare is a Latin word which comes from persona, personality, and personality and persona simply means a mask. So
Hmm.
most people are putting a mask on in order for them to prove to people that whatever they're suffering on the inside, they are good on the outside. And
Hmm.
so that I used to think that, well, all these guys are walking down, they're all screwing up their face because they think they're bad man them.
Hmm.
And they weren't screwing up their face because they were a bad man. They were screwing up their face because they were hurting. And sometimes we need to
Hmm.
identify the difference between someone who is hurting and someone who thinks they're bad. Even in prison, they talk about certain areas, mad, bad, and sad, right?
Hmm.
Some people are mad, some people are sad, and some people are bad. And you'll
Hmm.
find out that more people are sad more than mad or bad.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and, and so they tend to enact with their behavior because they're sad. And some
Hmm.
people are so sad that they become mad. And some people
Hmm.
become so sad that they become bad. But a lot of the times it comes from sadness,
Hmm.
sadness of neglect, sadness of pain, sadness of rejection, sadness of a disconnect from God and self, sadness of there's so much sadness that's going on. And so sad turns into bad, sad turns into mad, but sad never turns into glad. And so that's the reason why we need to,
Sad never turns into glad.
no,
No, how comes?
no.
So how do you get to glad then? Is glad like
So
happy, right?
yeah, glad isn't happy, yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
how do you go from sad to happy then? Because.
it comes from a different place. So, for
Mm.
example, you remember we spoke about protons and electrons, right? And
Mhm.
electrons are a negative state, and that negative state deals with low vibrational frequency. And so
Mhm.
those low vibrational frequency is to deal with depression, angry, frustration, doubt,
Fear,
worry, pessimism, hopelessness, being sad, and so you're all
being
those
scared.
negative ones. Being
Mhm.
scared, exactly. It all comes from there. Pessimism, it all comes from there, right? And then you've got proton state. Well, proton state is the consciousness of love. That's connection with God. That's where you find glad. That's where you find happiness, joy,
Mhm.
romance. You find all of the good stuff. And in order to transition from the place of sad to a proton state of glad, for example, you
Mhm.
in order to if you were to jump from there to there, it'll be called bipolar. And that's why they
Mhm.
talk about bipolar as in bipolar bi two polar opposites. Yeah, so that's what bipolar is about. And then one
Mhm.
side of the polar is mania, and the other side of the polar is depression. So the
Mhm.
mania is like you're all excited and you're vibrant and you're moving around, and then depression is when they're back on a low again. So unless someone's in a place of um, bipolar, they will jump from being sad to being in a mania place of happiness and joy, which seems to come across as that, right?
Mhm.
Now, in order to go through it, you have to go through each step very slowly, and you have to deal with each part of self as you go through it. So you have to go with what makes you sad. Why was you
Mhm.
sad? And so you go through the process of being sad, Because, for example, anger is better than sad.
Mhm.
Sad can lead you quicker to a place of depression, which then can lead you to a place of hopelessness, which is suicide, than anger. Anger gives you action. I'm angry. I don't want this life no more. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Anger makes you take action. And so you have to deal with each part of the 26 scales of emotions until
Mhm.
you get into a proton state. Deal with the
Mhm.
10 or 15 stages of electrons first. Why are you
Mhm.
depressed? Do you know what I mean? I'm depressed
Mhm.
because my mother died. I'm depressed because I was neglected. Okay, let's look into that. Was you
Mhm.
neglected? Let's investigate neglect. Well, my mum didn't want me. Okay, let's say your mum didn't want you. How old was your mum at the time? My mum was 15 years old. Okay, let's look at that. So let's look at the mindset of a 15-year-old. And then you start to sit down and you go through the mindset of a 15-year-old, and the person goes, "Oh, I get it. It's not that she didn't want me, she was just scared. She was
Mhm.
just scared of being a young mum." For example, I'm having, I'm having a moment of a soliloquy. I'm having a soliloquy moment at this precise time, right?
Mhm.
So just humor me for
Soliloquy.
me.
What's that word?
Oh, sorry. Soliloquy just means I'm thinking out loud. I'm talking to myself and
Mhm.
having a moment. You know, like when someone's acting on stage. When
Mhm.
someone's acting on stage and the audience is watching them and they're talking to themselves, you see in
Mhm.
Shakespeare
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're having a
Yeah. Yeah.
soliloquy. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're just having a soliloquy. They're expressing their thoughts out loud if someone's listening or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
having a soliloquy moment, right?
Mhm.
Um, so in this moment, let's say this person's now is now saying, I I understand. Mum, it's not that mum didn't want me. Mum didn't know how to deal with me when she was 15 years old because now I'm, I don't know, 30, for example. I understand that a 15-year-old doesn't know any better. Okay, so do you
Mhm.
think your mum hated you? No, I don't believe my mum hated me now that I look through her eyes. Okay, so now we've moved that person along a little bit. So now
Mhm.
tell me how you feel now. Well, do you know what? Because of that, I've broken up in a loving relationship, and now I'm sad. I'm sad because I've lost my partner. Okay,
Mhm.
great. So because of neglect, you've lost your partner. All right. Now, is it because your partner dislikes you? No, it's because I was
Mhm.
very hard to live with. For example, I was
Mhm.
very hard to live with because I always feel neglect.
Mhm.
Okay. So now that you know you wasn't neglected, do you reckon you can be a better person? Yes, I can. Are you still
Mhm.
sad? No, I'm not sad. I get it. I understand. So what happens as
Mhm.
you move someone through the stages of emotions, which may take a period of time, they now get to a happier place. And now
Mhm.
that they've got to a happier place, they're now in a proton state or
Mhm.
a neutron state. So neutron state is more like, okay, I feel like I don't know what to do next. I feel there's a how. How do I? I feel a bit confused. That's a neutron state. You're kind of tittering on each side. And then you move into a
Yeah.
proton state until you get to a place of glad. So there's a journey there. When you're in a place of bipolar, you jump back and forth. But when you go through the
Mhm.
stages of investigating each single emotion, you then start to progress up into a proton state overall. And so that's what we need to do. We need to each day. The Japanese talks about kaizen, Kazen, Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement. That's what the Japanese used to destroy and beat the Americans in the car industry with their cars. They had they had a system in place that meant continuous improvement every day, and that's where we
Mhm.
should be. We should be in a place of Kaizen, continuously improving every single day until we get to a place where we know ourselves, until we get to that Maslow hierarchy of need of individuality, until we get to that place of confidence and self-esteem, until we get to that place of respecting others and respecting ourselves. And these are
Mhm.
the reasons why we tend to cause so much pain when we're younger to others and
Mhm.
ourselves as well, because we don't know ourselves and the fundamentals weren't directly in place.
Mhm. I get that fully. Mhm.
you know and that's what I want for our community. That's what I want That's what I want for us.
How do you think we implement it though? Because obviously in prison, what they do is there's a thing called Oasis report. An Oasis report. It's like there's all these different sections and they score you. You know the kind of things that you're talking about. As you got this, as you got that, as you got this, as you got that, and then every time you ain't at the end of it when you got all these different personality things and behavioral things and educational things and security things. If you're not reaching a certain score, you don't get to the next level of improvement. Basically, so before you get to the next level in improvement, you got to make sure your scores are hitting, so you can get a combined number. Do you get what I'm saying? But most of the time, they only ID like this. There's like ETS courses, right? Which is basic. There's like a 6 weeks course. I think it's called Enhanced Thinking Skills, right? And some of the things you're talking about, they're in there, in it. And some it's like when you hear it, you think that's common sense. Yeah, it is common sense, but we don't implement it. It's common sense when you hear it. Do you know what I'm saying? But you don't implement it in your life. Yeah, but what they do is there's other courses, serious courses, that they only when you get to a certain score, they only give to the serious of criminals. If you get what I'm saying, yeah. So how would we implement this in the community?
Yeah, brilliant question. Brilliant question.
Mm,
Do you know what? Here's the thing. I think the the challenge that we're gonna have in our communities, what we're asking people to do is boring, and people don't like boring things. Yeah,
and I don't like to be told.
yeah, 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 and massively.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
we have to start with our morals and our core values. We have to start there,
mhm,
and we have to. Our behavior will dictate the way that people. Okay, let me give an example. Right,
mhm.
people articulate themselves or behave the way that they think you want them to behave around you.
Yeah, remember I was saying that before. Remember I was
Yeah,
saying that before.
right.
It gets embarrassing as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, this is controversial. And so here's my controversial moment. And so much people disagree
Let
with
me
me.
let me put this on a highlight. I'm gonna make this a highlight. Go on. There you go.
Yeah. You want my controversies, yeah, to be a highlight, yeah?
I got you.
Okay. So here's my moment. So we have certain cancers in our community, right? And a cancer, it could be one cell, which means it could be one person. And that
Mhm,
one person, as a cancer, can metastasize into the
mhm,
community, which means it spreads and infects the whole community. So one
mhm.
person can start off. It's a bit like when you have a um a rotten fruit and you put that one rotten
Yeah,
fruit amongst all the
with the
healthy
rest.
fruits, right? All the rest and
Mhm,
all the other fruits do not influence the rotten fruit to be healthy. It's the other
mhm,
way around. That one rotten fruit
mhm,
influences the whole basket of fruits to be rotten.
mhm, mhm.
So
Yeah.
first and foremost, we have to cut out the
The
rotten
rotten
fruit,
fruit.
yeah, before it metastasizes into the community. Then
Mhm,
what we have to do at the same time is we have to then separate the good people and then build those people up. So we have to separate the
mhm,
two. People that's willing to
mhm,
grow, the people that's willing to be good and willing to become something, we have to separate them from the cancerous people in our environment. We can't mix the two
mhm,
together. We can't.
mhm,
And this is why we were talking about it last week or so, where
mhm,
good kids are ending up getting killed around bad kids.
mhm.
You know,
Around
good
bad kids, yeah.
people good people are dying around bad people because the bad people
Mhm,
are metastasizing their cancerous behavior and destroying all
mhm,
the good people within that environment. So what we
mhm,
have to do first and foremost is create small groups. Yeah. It
mhm,
could be groups of 5. So you may say, right, I'm
mhm,
selecting you 5, right?
mhm,
You 5, I can see potential in you lot. And those 5, you teach them and you show them how to become powerful, how to have the basics in place and all the rest of it. In the meantime,
mhm,
the cancerous cells, you're dealing with radiation with them. You're dealing with ways to either say to them, are you in or are you out? We ain't got time for you right now. Now, don't get me wrong, mad, bad, and sad. Maybe they're sad, maybe they're mad, maybe they're bad. That's another department to deal with. But for this department, we have to focus on them getting to a place of excellence. Then we will do like what the Rockefellers done. We will do like what the Chinese government's done. We will do like what the Russian government's done. We would then now get these good children or good people and invest in them. This is where we do crowdfunding and say, now let's send them to Harvard in that country. Let's send them to Eton. Let's send them to work with the Saudi government. Let's now send them to go work in Dubai. Let's send them to go and do work experience in Malaysia. Let's go and do this. And so what happens then? We have agreement with them and say, your agreement is that you come back in 10 years' time and do the exact same thing that we're teaching you right now. Now, this is going to take time to do. It's a 10 to 20 to 30-year plan because things happen in waves of generations, right? And so this is a generational conversation we're having now. It ain't no easy, quick sweep, right? When we destroy ourselves in generations. So when we build ourselves up, we have to build ourselves up in generations as well, right? So once again, we will separate the two. We will invest in one side, see the excellence in them, build them up, and send them across the world, and then make them come back with their skills, their ability, their wealth, and this now recontribute back into the community. And now you're gonna pay 5 people, and then do the same thing again until 20 years from now, yeah, all of a sudden we have a powerful environment. And so what starts to happen is the powerful environment starts to outweigh the weak environment. Do you know what I'm saying? The cancerous environment. Because now we could turn around and say, listen, if you're mad, we will give you treatment. If you're bad, we will shut your world down. If you're sad, we're going to help you therapy. And so what happens is this side of the basket is stronger than that side of the basket. That's my vision of it. And it's not a quick fix.
Yeah. Now, and right now, you said that basket side. It seems like the other side of the basket stronger now, right now, isn't it? The time that we're living in. Do you know what
Well,
I mean?
yes,
The
yes.
negative side. People love negativity, boy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying. I was just agreeing with you. I'm just saying people love negativity these days. I don't know what. It's like it's really, really like even good people like negativity. Do you get what I'm saying? It's mad. It's like it's crazy. Like they don't like living in it, but they like getting entertained by it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well,
You know, like gossip and this one said that and this one said that and bloody bloody. But you know what someone said to me the other day though? Someone said to me, yeah, which I found right, yeah. I said, rah. I said, I put up some different things on my Instagram, right? And I was surprised that there was people that was interested in it. You know, like good stuff, yeah? Yeah. The only problem is though, your audience likes negative stuff. And what you gotta understand is most of the world, most of the world do post positive stuff. It's just that even though you might think most of the world's negative, it's not. It's just that the way you live and the people who are attracted to you and the things that you're involved in, there's a lot of negative people in those kind of environments. And I thought, wow, I didn't even think about it like that. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
no, he's
I
right.
just thought, wow. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
He's
you go different places. You go different places and you see how much positive people there are out there. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Who are receptive to you and that. Do you get what I'm saying? To what you're doing in your book and that. Do you know what I mean? And then you come back to your community and it's not the same. Do you get what I'm saying? Man will hate on you because you want to do something different or change or not have a screw face or not start asserting your authority over them. It's like sometimes people get mad because you're not being bad. It's
It,
crazy, bro.
it's so funny that you say that, right? I kid you not. When I first started to, so we're going back probably now 15 years, 16 years at least, even longer than that, probably 20 years. When I first started say I want to do talks and workshops to our community, right? I kid you not. I remember the community center on Stockwell Park Estate refused me. They said no. I said, listen, I want to do a talk about us building ourselves up. They rejected me. The community center in Mitesfield, all these different community centers. When I turned around and I said to them that I want to do talks to help our community. I got rejected for about 3 years. I kid you not. If you go onto my Instagram, Kevin Bennett, Kevin Bennett. If you go onto my Instagram, you go onto my Facebook. I was doing talks in the park. I was actually doing talks in the park for the first probably like 6 months. People are interested. Imagine the community center leaders was not interested in me saying, I want to talk to the our people, and I want to talk about the fact that we need to grow and move away from negativity. They had zero interest. Zero interest. They was like, nope, nope, nope. I was doing talks in parks. Brockwell Park, I done a talking. There's another talk, another park by Crown Point. I used to do talks by Crown Point. There was a part there. It's like off Streatham, kind of off Streatham Common
Yeah, yeah.
Park. Yeah, I done another. I was doing talks in Hyde Park. I was doing talks in parks. I was sitting down with people in parks doing talks. Community centers had zero interest in me doing talks. It's only when I went away and I started to build up my name and I started to get through to hundreds of people, then I started to get through to thousands of people. Then they said, oh, wow, this is really good. Do you mind coming to do a talk? And all that time, I kid you not, here's the thing. People then started to say, oh, Kevin's getting rich and switch. Oh, Kevin's not interested in the community. It wasn't that I wasn't interested in the community. It was that the community leaders didn't want me to talk in their environment. And I had to go away to other communities, Asian community, white community, do talks, and then I started to get recognition. Then I started to get hate from our community because they said, Kev, you had no
Yeah.
interest. And I'm like, you don't understand. I've been trying and there's been no progression.
Can't you know what? And they can actually make you lose your confidence. You know that your own community when you're trying to do something different.
Yes.
They can make you lose your own confidence. You start thinking, right, am I actually doing the right thing, or do I need to go back to who I was so I can get some respect out here? Because respect is one of the things on the pyramid, right?
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You
Respect
start
yourself
thinking,
and
raw, is
others.
this what I'm gonna have to do to get some respect? Because like man ain't respecting me. It's like I'm losing respect now because I'm trying to do something.
Let me tell you something.
Huh?
Let me tell you, I'm glad you said that, bro. So glad you said that, right? And I'll tell you the reason why, and you're gonna relate to this, yeah? Now, if
Big up
if
Tony
we
G.
if we turn around tomorrow and we said, right, we've had enough, we're going back to road, the community would say, please, there's gonna be so much problems on the street. Please. Yeah.
100%.
They'll
They
say,
say you lot are big men now. You
yeah,
lot are big men. You
yeah,
shouldn't be doing this stuff. That's what
exactly.
they tell
They'll
her.
say, please. And
Yeah,
they wouldn't want our
yeah.
level of intelligence back on road on top of it. They wouldn't want that,
Mm-mm,
right?
mm-mm,
But here's the thing: when people slander our names and when people talk about us, a lot of people in the community are happy to say, "Now, what are you not going to do about it?" And I'm saying,
yeah, yeah.
I am
It's
being
mad.
disciplined for
It's
three
mad.
sets of people or three sets of entities. I'm being disciplined for myself.
Mm-hmm,
I'm being
mm-hmm,
disciplined for God, and I'm being disciplined for
mm-hmm.
you lot. You lot don't
Yeah, yeah.
understand that I can be the cancer in our community. But
Mm-hmm,
you're allowing
mm-hmm,
other cancerous people in the community.
mm-hmm,
You're not only you're allowing other cancerous cells in the community to be cancerous, but you're
mm-hmm,
also a part of that metastasis of the cancer.
mm-hmm.
You're spreading the
Exactly.
foolishness, and you want me to react to the foolishness
Exactly.
instead of saying to that side, listen,
Mm-hmm,
you guys stop because we're all trying to build something powerful.
mm-hmm,
So at
mm-hmm.
all times, we've got a kind of a sense of dichotomy. We've got a sense of like, we have to be disciplined for people that we're talking
So
to.
disciplined.
We have to be
Mm-hmm,
disciplined. We got to say to those people, um, I'm being disciplined right now to save all of us. You don't
mm-hmm,
understand that my discipline doesn't come from weakness. My discipline
mm-hmm,
comes from values,
mm-hmm,
morals, and future.
mm-hmm,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
And then they turn around and they say, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But what are you gonna do now? Is it beef? And I'm
mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
you didn't hear what I said, did you? Do you
You
understand
didn't
what I'm
listen to
saying?
nothing.
You didn't hear a word what I said. And so that's what
It's
sparked.
sad though, isn't it, Kev? It's sad though, isn't it, Kev? It's sad, isn't it? It's sad, isn't it?
It, man.
It's sad because you see
Have you gone
sometimes,
through
yeah,
that recently? Like people drawing you
yeah,
out?
yeah. Recently, only last weekend, bro. You know what I mean? It's mad, bro. It's mad. It's like I don't know, man. You know, I don't want to talk about it, innit? Because it's just long. But
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, just a draw out. Just a draw out. Same thing again. You chill out, you be cool around these people, and then these people start to believe they can talk to you a certain way. When you know, if I'm being the other person, you can't talk to me like that. Do you get what I'm saying? You know you can't talk to me like that, but it's
No.
crazy. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? So it's just like, raw. It's like I kind of slipped into the other person for 3 seconds. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just thought, raw. Yeah, because I felt pressure. I was like, yeah, is it really? Yeah, is that what you think? And then, yeah, obviously.
I get it.
You
Get
get
it.
me?
I get
You know, like that. Remember, like when you bumped into Ombre.
it.
That's what happened. Do you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
brother? That's what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. And then I just went
Exactly.
about my business. So it's just
I'll
not. It's
be
not
honest.
what. Go on, brother. Go on, brother.
So I apologize for cutting you.
See, even my
Yeah.
breathing. You know, look, even when I'm talking now, my breathing's changed because it's not where I want to be. Do you get what I'm saying,
But
bro? My
no,
breathing is
no.
right there, bro. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to
Do you
keep
know
this
what?
person down at bay. Do you get what I mean? You said it's discipline. The discipline. I'm trying to keep it down. It's like keeping someone down there in your gut. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then moving it to the side as well. You know what I'm saying, brother? It's just like, raw. Like, brother, it's even though Catcher said it's easy to be bad, yeah, but it's hard sometimes in the environment not to be bad. Do you get what I'm saying? Because because of all these people, you're thinking you and you and you and you, and I'm trying to tell you lot something. I'm trying to show you lot something different, and it's like, for one, you're not respecting me, and for one, you want to see me fall. Why would you want to see me fall? I'm not even a threat to you guys. Do you know what I mean? Why do you want to see me? And now then I understand why Jesus got killed. It makes me realize, because he's going around trying to help man and build man in progress, and then some man is looking at man like, nah, I don't like them man there. You know, them man they think they're too good or they think they're too nice. Too good or too nice? How was it when I thought I was too bad? How did you like me then? You know what I'm saying? How did you like me then? But now I think I'm too nice. Why? Because I'm helping my man, or I've got morals and I've got principles and stuff like that. I don't understand. How do I think I'm too nice? How? How? Because I'm carrying myself with more confidence? Because I do carry myself with more confidence these days. Do you get what I'm saying? Before I had fake confidence. Now I got real confidence because I know where I'm going. I'm going somewhere. Do you get what I'm saying? Before I didn't know where I was going. And like you said, when you looked at your elders, you was inspired by these things that was blocking out that they didn't really know what they were getting. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, like the clothes and the jewelry. We was looking at them thinking, yeah, these guys know what they're doing. No, they just knew how to get money and make it look good. That's what they knew how to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you sat down and talked to them, they're probably masking bare stuff. You know what I mean? The clothes and the jewelry is hiding bare different trauma that you couldn't believe it. Do you get what I'm saying? The bigger the trauma, the bigger the watch. The bigger the car, the more expensive the clothes. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's some wicked people hiding behind that kind of stuff. You wouldn't believe it. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? So I just think sometimes that's why I had to remove myself from the community, because living in it, it would definitely bring up the worst person in me. It will definitely bring, and that's what I don't want. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to sit there and say, oh man. And you know what? You see, when you dash it all away, they'll say, brother, why you do that for? You had it. You had it. We all
Mm,
wanted you to win. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Sure. If you all wanted me to win, I'd have won already. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. I'm here fighting against knuckleheads. Knuckleheads with hard-headed people trying to read over and over and over again, trying to inspire you every day. Even me turning up in the community, that's supposed to be inspiration. Because you don't see man every day. Do you get what I'm saying? And when I come back, most of the time, all I'm trying to do is stop a fight or stop this or tell you man to chill or I forget that, or do you get what I'm saying? And then it's like you start hating me for it because you're looking at it like, raw, that's real power, but hating that I'm using power in the positive way. Do you get what I'm saying? So I could be in the community. And look, you know what they will respect? They will respect the equivalent of me and you in the other hoods dropping the machines on man and walking around with the youths. And that's what they'll respect. They'll respect that more than us saying, no, don't do that or don't do that. They respect them man there. I've seen it. They rate them kind of guys. The guys that will give them a machine and that. That's the kind of guys that they rate. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? And we already know where that goes. Can we get some more likes, please? 3 dots in the corner. Sorry, Kev, go through, man.
no, I respect that, and as you're talking, it's making me definitely think and reflect as well, because even for me, it's like they say, in empty barrels make the most noise,
Hmm
and
hmm
so we don't tend to hear people say keep going. we tend to
Mhm.
hear people say, "Do you hear what they said about you?" You know,
Mhm.
and do you know what? Sometimes I turn to God and I say to God, God, at what point can I step out and say it's on? Do you know? And it's I do have that conversation with God. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. And it's interesting because I think it's connected to um I think it's
I see
connected
your brain
to
ticking. You see when I was going through that.
yeah,
It seemed like you seemed like a therapist then, you know that. See when I was speaking, yeah, and I saw you looking up like this. It's like yeah. You was processing it. I saw you processing it like, raw. I understand. I understand where that's coming from. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I understand it. And now you're telling us. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. But it only takes
yeah.
some special mind like yours to process that because, like I said, we've been through this, innit? So everyone ain't gonna understand this shit. Do you get what I'm saying, brother? Not everyone's gonna understand this shit, and everyone
Do
ain't
you
gonna be able to go through what you went through and read everything and get the knowledge that you've attained now to understand this stuff. And that is why we need you, bro. That is why we need you.
know, man.
Trust
But
me.
do you know what it is? I think, do you know, I personally think, I may be wrong, but this is my personal thoughts. I believe people relate to you more than they relate to me. And so
Hmm.
that's why I if you was to step out tomorrow, I'm stepping behind you. Because
But I
I think
relate to you though. I relate to you. You know why? Because we grew up together, and I seen you, and you see
mm,
me, and we've been together. So there ain't no different. Do you get what I'm
yeah,
saying? I lost a lot of time. Maybe if I didn't lost a lot of time, I would have been, you know, as academically like you. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I wanted that. When I was in jail, I was trying to catch up. Do you get what I'm saying? But I just speak in a certain way. That's it. That's it. But it's all what you know. I aspire to be. Don't get nothing that twisted. Do you get what I'm saying,
yeah. But
brother?
you know what it is? We're having a conversation again about
Yeah.
we're having a conversation about ingredients. Because
Hmm.
here's the thing: you may be pepper, I may be
Ah.
salt, or you may be salt, or I may
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
pepper. But
Yeah. Yeah.
together we
Yeah.
become a gourmet meal. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
who's the all-purpose seasoning in our
Yeah.
community?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the paprika? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Who's
know,
the chili? Who's the curry
who's the
powder?
chili? Exactly, who's the
Yeah.
curry
Yeah.
powder?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know what it is? It's not that I have anything over you, because I don't,
Yeah.
and it's not that you have anything over me. We're just different ingredients in a pot that's
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to make something taste good for the community.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? I don't
100%.
think there's anyone
But you
over
do
the other.
inspire me, though. You do inspire me separately, away from anything else. Because maybe if I didn't know where you come from, I wouldn't be as inspired. But because I know your journey in it, so that's just very inspiring. Do you get
No, I
what I'm saying,
respect
bro?
that,
That's
bro, man.
yeah, 100%, bro.
I respect that. But as I said, you know what? All of my constituents, as in all the parts of me,
Mhm.
is connected to you, is connected to
Mhm.
this person, is connected to that person. I
Mhm.
would be lying if I said I am fully made because of me. I'm
Mhm.
not fully
Mhm.
made because of me. I'm
Mhm.
fully made because of all of our experiences.
Mhm.
I'm fully made because I said, Raj, you know what? When that happened, I learned, so I can't make that happen on my side. Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep that. I'll be
Mhm.
lying if I said I am I am a direct representation of myself.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? I'm a direct representation of all of us.
All of us.
Do you
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? As a
Mhm.
collective, you know.
Mhm.
So like, I've seen you fight
Mhm.
spiritually,
Mhm.
physically,
Mhm.
emotionally,
Mhm.
psychologically, and all the rest of it. I've seen you push. I've seen you fight. I've seen you
Mhm.
fight when you didn't want to, and I've seen you fight when you
Mhm.
had to. I've seen you fight,
Mhm.
and fight doesn't just mean physical fighting. It just means
Mhm.
you had to battle all different
Mhm.
battles.
Mhm.
And some of the battles that you've gone through, other people's committed suicide in that process.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
some of the battles you've gone through, other people just said, "Do you know what? I'm giving up on life," and they're just walking around
Mhm.
with give up energy. And so, I
Some
guess what
people
I'm
hate you
saying.
for that, though. You know that. You know, some people hate you for that.
What's that? Sorry.
What you just said. You said the battles that I've been through and I've overcome them. Some people hate me for that. Do you know that?
Well, do you know the reason why?
Mm.
I'll tell you the reason why people hate you for that.
Mhm.
because we live in a world of comparisons, right?
Mhm.
So if you think about it, how do you know left if you don't know right? How do you know
Mhm.
up if you don't know down? Right,
Mhm.
and then so you have the world of comparisons, and you have something else which it comes talks about one, then turns into two. So every
Mhm.
one turns into two. So I give you an example. You have a
Mhm.
temperature gauge, right? You have a thermometer, right?
Mhm.
And that then divides into two, in it, the temperature of hot and cold. Yeah.
Mhm.
You have volume, but then the volume divides into two, high volume and low volume. Yeah,
Mhm.
loud and quiet. Yeah, so everything comes from one. Now, let me tell you where becomes a problem. The problem is when someone can look at you and say, "You shouldn't have got through that because I don't know how I would get through that." That's where
Mhm.
resentment comes from. Resentment
Mhm.
tends to come from. See, here's the thing: you, I don't, I don't, or you don't, or another person won't resent a Chinese kid from China who's a billionaire, because there's no
Mhm.
relationship. There's no
Mhm.
sense of understanding where he came from. Your
How we
biggest
going?
resentment comes from the people that are next to you, because
Mhm.
they've seen you and they'll say, "You shouldn't be talking like that. Where did you
Mhm.
learn to talk like that?" Or, "You shouldn't be acting like that because I knew you when you was pissing your bed. You shouldn't be."
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. So our biggest haters comes
Mhm.
from the people that were closest to us. Haters don't come
Mhm.
from across the seas, because
Mhm.
there's no relationship in order for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
Beyonce's friends who she grew up with would say, "She's an idiot, man. She should never be the woman who she
Mhm.
is." Do you understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying to you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Obama's friends will say, "Hold on, how you turned out to be president? I remember you when you couldn't
Mhm.
even read or write."
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
the people that you grew up with would turn around and say, "Do you know what? There's no way Quincy should be talking about helping empowering people. He should be dead right now. He
Do you
should
know?
be in
Do you
jail
know?
right
Do you know what a girl said to me? She said, "I don't know this speaky, smoky version of you."
now." I've heard that as well. I've heard.
I'm like, what does that mean? Huh? What am I supposed to be talking the same as I was, coming across the same as I was when you knew me when I was 15? I couldn't understand it. It's mad. She said,
Funny enough, do you know? Here's a funny one for you.
speaky,
Um,
smoky. That's the word she used.
girls have dropped me out since I've improved my life. I'm like, "Bro, where these girls good?" They're like, "No, no, no, no. You're too nice. I don't do nice." I've been told I'm
Wow.
too nice.
Wow.
I've been told I'm too nice. I've been told I'm
Wow.
too nice. You know.
Wow.
Um, and I'm like, "So what do you want your child to be?" And they said, "Not like you, because you're too nice."
Wow.
Yeah,
Is it? So
yeah,
what do they
yeah,
want their child to be? Bad boy?
yeah.
'Cause you're, oh, just nice. Just nice. Because you're too nice, right?
Do you know what it is? I've come across a lot of women over the years. This is my personal experience, yeah. I've come
Mm-hmm.
across a lot
Mm-hmm.
of women over the years who say when someone's too nice to them, it makes them paranoid. It makes them wonder what that person's
Mm-hmm.
motives are. So,
Mm-hmm.
from a psychological perspective, when
Mm-hmm.
I look at it, I can then see that every time niceness has happened to them, abuse has happened. So they
Mm-hmm.
equate niceness to abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I
they've
get it.
equated
I get it.
niceness
I
to
get it.
abuse.
Yeah. So basically, they got seduced into being abused. So, and that was all the nice stuff.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
So they will
I
prefer
get it. I
someone
get
being
it. I get
horrible
it.
to them so they can make sense of it.
So being nice to them is a trigger.
Yes, it triggers their
Mm.
paranoia. They start to say,
Mm.
right, what the first thing they turn around and say is, the first thing they turn around and say is, "What do you want from me?" And I'm like, "I'm just telling you that you look beautiful. That's all. I don't want nothing from you. Whatever. Just go and be honest. What do you want from me?" And I'm like, "I'm dead serious. I'm just letting you know that I think you're a beautiful person overall." They're like, "No, no. What do you?" And I'm like, "I'm dead serious. That's it." And
Big up
so
P72. Go on.
we're back to that place again where most people believe that being nice
Mm-hmm.
equates to being abused. And so these
Mm.
are the fundamentals.
Or it's or it's the start of it. It's the process going heading
Yes,
towards being abused.
yes,
Mm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So any time that someone says someone's too nice, it normally is a trigger or anchor that has led or come from a place where before they've been abused, either sexually, emotionally, spiritually, financially.
So do all girls love bad boys? Is that right? Or you
No,
think
no,
it's
no, I can't speak for all girls,
I'm
obviously, and I'm
no,
not a
because I'm
woman.
thinking,
But
are the girls that like bad boys the ones that have been abused who don't like the nice people?
no,
That's what
let
that
me
just clicked in my
let me tell you
brain.
let me tell you my education on it, and obviously I'm still learning. My education on understanding it is a lot of women love bad boys because for them, bad boys equate to security.
Okay.
So in their mind, bad boys is connected to security, but also as well in their mind, bad boys is connected to um, adventure. So they don't like boring men, and so a lot of women
Mm.
equate boring men to being nice,
Yeah,
and a
because
lot
some bad guys might not even be able to protect the girl, but they live an adventurous life. They get up to
exactly,
stuff.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they
So it's
love
all different
adventure.
shades of a bad boy, not just one all the time, innit?
Right.
Yeah.
But now
Mm-hmm.
it's connected. There's another side of it because I was working with some clients about 4 years ago. Three women, two of
Mm-hmm.
them were sisters, and one of them was a friend, and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't understand um, why they keep on getting into abusive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And what we discovered together on their journey and discovering what's going on with them is two of the sisters was going through abuse in their early years, and in order for them to make sense of their pain, they need to self harm. So they were self
Mm-hmm.
harming at first, and then their self harming was more connected to being with abusive guys because it made them feel. Because normally, when you're going through trauma, so trauma stores in the body, right? And that's why people normally have pains in their body because trauma stores in the body, and the body stores, keeps count of the trauma.
I had
But
that.
what happens is that the brain has overwhelming data and information of the trauma reenacting itself. And because
Mm-hmm.
it causes them so much pain, it they just need to get away from that psychological pain. So they will start to self-harm, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do all the self-harming. And then they want to be around guys that normally would abuse them because it helps them to relieve the pain in their mind. Not in all cases, but in the case this particular
Mm-hmm.
case, right?
I
And
understand
so
that though. I get it. I get it.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And that's why a lot of women will say, just hit me, do something, just hit me. Just
Mm-hmm.
don't be quiet, just hit me, do something. Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they need you to release on them so they can make sense of the pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so some women want to be with bad boys because it helps them to deal with their own trauma. Some
Mm-hmm.
women like to be with bad boys because it gives them a sense of security. And some
Mm-hmm.
women like to be with bad boys because they love the adventure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
but what it is, none of those women never anticipate the downside of what is to come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had that pain in my body before, you know. I
What
used to have
pain is that?
pains in my
Sorry.
belly. I used to have pains in my belly all the time. You know, when I
Right.
was in jail.
Okay.
Yes, I
Right.
used to. So all the time, I used to go to the doctors. They put cameras down there. They saw a lot of inflammation in that, but they kept on giving me these tablets. They thought it was gastritis and all that.
Oh,
But the
it's
tablets used
trauma.
to make my belly hurt even more. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? So
It's
I used to
trauma.
stop taking them. They used to make it hurt. And
Right.
then, and then some woman put me onto counselling. And then, you see, when I done my counselling, the pain left my body, bro.
Yes.
No
Because
more. It was
trauma.
gone. Yeah, it was gone. It was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So right. Let me explain it now. So trauma stores in the body, as I said, it stores in the cells of your
Hmm.
body. Yeah. And then in your around your gut area, they have what you call your viscera.
Hmm.
Yeah. Your viscera. And your viscera is connected to your nervous system.
Hmm.
And so when you're getting pain in your body, when your stomach, etc., it's connected to your nervous system, which is connected to
Hmm.
the traumas. And
Hmm.
so so the viscera is like another brain in your body.
Hmm.
And so when you're having the trauma in your viscera, the trauma in that part of the body is also. So I would anticipate. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but you was having a lot of anxiety at that time as well.
More than likely, you're living in that place. There's high security. You don't know what's around the corner. At any time, it can happen. So
Yeah.
you're always anxious in there.
Right. So it's
Do you know
all
what I
part
mean?
of your anxious as well, and this is why people get IBS and stuff like that,
Mhm.
irritable
Mhm.
bowel syndrome, because
Mhm.
it's the nervous system becoming too overwhelmed, which then
Mhm.
that's when you feel it in the stomach as well. And they also
Mhm.
say that's where the relationship with God is as well. So like
Mhm.
so the devil will talk to your mind, but God will talk to your stomach,
Mhm.
and this is
Mhm.
why you get a gut feeling, right? This ain't a good idea. I don't
Mhm.
think I should do it. While your ego is
Mhm.
saying, do it, man. Them man don't know who you are. You're Quincy. Go out
Yeah.
there and do
Yeah.
it. While your
Yeah.
gut would churn and your gut would be like, bad idea, bad idea,
Mhm.
bad idea. So the devil talks
Mhm.
to you in one place and God talks to you
Mhm.
in another place. And that's what I was saying to you before. I didn't understand the language of God, because God
Mhm.
talks to you in different places. So when you're
Mhm.
feeling in certain parts of your body as well, that's God saying to you, do not
Mhm.
do something, do not do certain things. And so
Mhm.
when you're having those moments, it's because your viscera, and your relationship with God, and your alert system was so high at that
Mhm.
time that it was all mixed up in one, which was just causing inflammation. Now, what is
Mhm.
inflammation? Inflammation on the brain, for example, causes hemorrhages. Inflammation on
Mhm.
the brain causes brain damage.
Mhm.
Inflammation is one of the number one things that comes from stress. So, an overwhelming amount of stress causes inflammation in the body.
Mhm.
So inflammation is how cancer and stuff like that would start as well. So when
What is it?
someone's
Yeah.
overly stressed, yeah, that's what can generate
Mhm.
cancer. That's what can generate blood clots. That's what can generate all different types of diseases in the body. Comes from inflammation, which then comes from stress.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So you see the list, the pyramid list. Did you get to the end?
Yes, yes.
Go
It
to the
was
top.
about actualization. It's about being
Yeah,
an
yeah.
individual. It's about purpose. It's about legacy. It's about
Do you not
speaking.
summarize that? Because we're getting near to 100 minutes.
Yes, 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 yes. Sure, sure, sure. So to
Mhm.
summarize, any questions from anyone, by the way, for us? Any questions from anyone? So right, just to summarize it, so we've got our physiological needs. So our
Mhm.
physiological need that we need to work on, which is number one, we need to work
Mhm.
on like our breathing. Our breathing
Mhm.
has to be in place. Our food, we have to make sure that we are eating the right food. Is so fundamentally important. We've got to make sure we're drinking enough water. Water deals with
Mhm.
inflammation in the body and stuff as well, and flushes us
Mhm.
out as well. It's so important.
Mhm.
We have to
About
make sure.
sauna and steams, does that help? Sauna and steam room,
Yeah,
does that help?
relaxing. So one is for relaxing the muscle, and one is for helping the bones as well. So
Oh, is that the
um,
sauna and steam room? Do you know which one's
yeah,
which?
I believe. Don't quote me on this one. I believe steam is for the skin, and I think
And the
sauna is for the
respiratory system, innit? The
yes,
lungs
yes,
and the nose
yeah,
and that. And
yeah,
then
yeah,
the sauna's probably for the muscles, then, innit? Because it goes
yeah,
deep inside in your body.
and help your bones, etc. Yes,
Yeah,
help.
steam's more outside, innit?
Yeah,
So when
because helps you
you have a
relax the
cold, they
muscles.
say to steam and that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly,
Carry on, go on.
exactly.
Let me stop
Yeah.
interrupting. Go
No,
on,
no,
go
no,
on.
no, 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 no. I like you. Well, you're not interrupting. We're having a
Mm.
conversation. So no, you're not. You're
Yeah.
not. And I have to apologize because I tend to do that as well. Is interrupt when I get excited. I need to learn to level myself out. So yeah. So breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. They're the fundamentals that we need to have in place. So
Mhm.
they're the fundamentals. Then safety and security comes second in line. Safety and security will be like our health, it will be
Mhm.
our employment or our financial situation or our career, should I say,
Mhm.
our property, making sure we've got some form of property that we can hold on to and
Mhm.
feel comfortable that we have security, and
Mhm.
then family and making sure that our social world and our social abilities to communicate with others and have relationships are in place. So
Mhm.
that's important. Then the third is love and belonging. So
Mhm.
love and belonging is friendships, it is family, it's intimacy, it's having connection with people. So belonging into a community, belonging around other people that are loving and caring. That's important for number three. Number
Mhm.
four is about self-esteem. Now it's about growing and stepping into a new place of you, which is your confidence, the achievements you're going to achieve, and celebrating the
Mhm.
achievements of yesteryear as well. is to have respect for others, respect for yourself, and respect for others. You know, as Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. To make sure you keep your integrity at all times, regardless of what's being thrown at you, to keep your integrity. And also just having that need to be an individual. You know, like for example, if if uh if if 50 people are going out there to do one wrong, you know, we need to turn around and identify, you 50 people, I'm not going to be 51. So it's to be an individual in the face of moments of maybe tyranny, or being an individual in moments of mob rule, you know. And then the final one is self-actualization. So it's like having that morality, having creativity, to be able to go out there and create something new, even when the world is laughing at you and saying, "What are you doing?" Being Noah's Ark, being that Noah's Ark. Do you know what I mean? Building a ship in the middle of the sun, in the middle of the desert, when everyone's saying, "What are you
You know
doing?
what you
You
need that for? Yeah, what
yeah,
you need that for?
exactly, exactly." And so it's
Yeah.
that actualization when you say, "Do you know what? I visualize what is to come, and I'm going to build a ship, or I'm going to leave the country, or I'm going to move away from a certain community because I see a tsunami coming." You know, it's to be having level of spontaneity, having a level to just kind of like be have movement, be flexible, and not be rigid like other people. Having accepting yourself, you know, and not adding extras to your body because of insecurities, because it's going to carry on forever until one day, God forbid, you die of your own bodge jobs, you know, of not relating to yourself. And then having like sense of purpose as well. You know, my I got three sense of purpose for me: helping people, empowering people, and building people. That's what I focus on every day. That's my sense of liberty and purpose. And then having that inner meaning as well. You know, what does it mean to be on this planet? Servitude. That I believe our meaning of being on this planet is servitude. How can I prove it? And it's not just a hypothesis. Um, the meaning of being on this planet is the same reason why ants are serving every day. It's the same reason why bees are serving every day. It's the same reason why we see all these different insects and animals serving every day, because they're all serving for the greater good. And so, should if the bees weren't serving the honey and flowers, then we will actually will be we'll be tittering on death ourselves. We don't realize how bees play a massive part in our ecosystem. You know, ants play a massive part in our ecosystem. Spiders play a part in our ecosystem. All of these creatures, insects, and animals play a part in our ecosystem, and we need to be doing the same as the hierarchy of the ecosystem. So servitude is so important. Serving people is so important. Serving our planet is so important. So
Helping people.
that's the hierarchy of needs. And so um, this is what we're doing now. We're in a place of servitude. We're serving people. We serve people under criticism. We serve people good days, bad days when we don't want to. We're serving people when they're taken from us. Like, no, I'm not doing another day of it. You're getting on my nerves. They're pissing me off. I'm not serving another person. Then you wake up the next day and you're like, okay, I'm back out serving again. So
Yeah, I find that a lot, you know. You know, like someone might ask me for something, I'll be like, nah, man. And then something's in my head saying, nah, just help them. And it's just like before, it would have just been no, and that would have been it. But then there's that other voice in my head now. It says, nah, nah. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Anything
Do you
you'd
say
like
any
to say,
questions for
bro?
us? Say that again, boy.
Anything you like to say as well on your side, bro? And
No,
also
really.
talk about your song that's coming out, because we spoke about it at the start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So basically, also, if you never get to see all of the live, the whole live will be out tomorrow, definitely. But also tomorrow, I've got a new single coming out. It's like punk rock, and I'm singing. So I've changed up the I'm trying to change the narrative in it, basically, instead of just doing all that negative stuff. Because, like I was saying to Kevin before, when I used to play my music to my granddaughter and my kid and my mum and that, when certain bad parts used to come up, I used to kind of I used to pause it and try and distract them, so I could make the rest of the song go away. So I just thought, you know what, I didn't like doing that no more, because obviously my grandkids and that love my music in it. So now they know all the right music. I'm making her write them. She knows all the words to my songs. She sings them when we're driving in the car. Oh yeah, big up everyone as well. Obviously, kids is half term today. They've all gone a half term or holidays, whatever it is. So yeah, big up all the parents that be looking after the kids from tomorrow. Well, from today. Well, tomorrow, innit? Because there's no school. Mine are broken up anyway. And yeah. Also, what Kevin asked me about what the song was about. It was basically about being with someone and you praying for them so hard, and then they turn around and basically, you know, destroy you. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, in jail, that's easily done. Do you know what I mean? Because no one will really want to be with anyone in prison. Do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of
What,
like,
what,
yeah, that happened a few times. I kept a diary. I kept a diary of my feelings when I was in prison. So I've got a lot to go and kind of, like take when I get like memory writer's block. I can go to a place and find things and turn them. And now that I sing, I can turn them into love songs instead of just looking at them like the pain and revisiting it. Now I can actually turn it into a song and feel actually free from the feeling, if you get what I'm saying. Instead of when I read it, I'm thinking about, oh, that was bad, man. That was a sad time. Now it's more, what's that word? Eurific. What's that word, Kev? Eurific? Eurific.
more of
Is
a
it eurific?
horrific time, yeah.
Yeah, it
Horrific,
feels
horrific,
more. It feels more
horrific.
horrific when I'm singing out them lyrics and I can smile. Do you get what I'm saying? And I can feel happy about what happened to me then. You know, when I've created a song out of it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now that I've created a song out of them bad feelings, I actually feel happy when I'm singing it now, instead of feeling sad when I revisit it. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of different still.
Oh, euphoric, you mean? Okay, euphoric. Right,
Euphoric.
right, right. Yeah, yes,
You
yes,
know, I
sorry.
saw your mind still look.
Right. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, because now
I
that
see
you're
it
saying
ticking,
it,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
like so when like I said, I'll go back to what I was saying. When I go back, when I never used to sing, I used to look at them books and I used to think, "Rah, boy." Like I even got a piece of sadness in me when I'm looking back at it. I can remember how I was feeling and stuff. But now, when I go back, I get encouraged to go back to that book now and look for little words and little lines, and I get excited. It's
yeah.
actually fun. Do you know what I mean? And then, like I said, that word was it horrific. I feel when I'm singing
Euphoric.
I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
when I'm singing the
yeah,
song. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? I don't feel no pain. I don't feel no shame. I don't feel no sadness. I don't feel anything. I feel like, you know what? This is what it was for. And actually, I'm happy for it. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Love
that
that.
bad experience now turned it into a positive.
I
You know what I
love that.
mean? And
I
I might
love.
be able to, it might even change my life. God willing. Do you get what I'm saying? Those bad
Well,
feelings I
well,
went through.
the truth is, your life is changing. All,
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely,
but I
definitely.
know what you're saying. You just
You know what
want
I'm saying, innit?
you want that blessing. There's a blessing that you want now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly.
I
So I
love
can
the
look
fact
after
that
the
you're
little ones
smiling
properly
more.
and that.
I love the
Huh?
fact that you're smiling more now, and I can see when
Yeah,
you
I know.
smile. When you smile now, you smile with your eyes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People
Then
used to say that all the time, when I was young. Oh, you got a nice smile, you should smile more. But I was thinking, I ain't really got nothing to smile about. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really, where I'm from, there ain't nothing to smile about, bro. And if you
mm,
smile where we're from, that's a weakness. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was less smiling. Do you know what I mean? I remember when I first came out, yeah, big up my brethren though, young Don, innit? Big him up, yeah, right?
yeah, big
Smiling
up young
culture
dog.
side.
Big him
Yeah.
up. Big him up.
He
Yeah,
said to big
big
you
up.
up the other day when he spoke to you because he said he watched the thing. He watched the last week's one. Do you get what I'm
Oh
saying?
right,
Yeah?
right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Massive
But
respect
I
to young
remember,
dog.
right? I remember when we was in our first video, right? He rang me when I come out, I was in his first music videos, right? And I'm in the video and I'm having a whale of a time, like just having fun. Like, you could imagine what this shit I've been through. You know what he said to me, bro, all this smiling thing ain't gonna work in the video. I said, why not? I said, what, you want me to look serious like I'm some killer? That's what you want. That's why you want me in your video. I said, nah, bro, this is me. This is me. It's about time I have some fun. Because even when I was watching rap, remember, I'm watching Biggie and that, and they look like they were having fun. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
it's
So that's
true.
the
It's
kind of rap
true.
I come up on. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's what I was trying to replicate in my videos. I didn't know about that screw face thing. Like I've been through 100 screw faces. I'm fucking tired of them by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why I'm
yeah, yeah,
smile
yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoy life. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I remember that's what he said to me though. Yeah, man, all the fam, I beg you stop smiling, please, man. I couldn't believe it. I said, brother, you've lost your mind, brother. You think I'm coming out here to fake some screw face in the video? You got mad.
So
But again,
when
that's him perceiving the old me again. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's
yeah,
him
it takes
perceiving the
time.
old
It
me.
takes time. It
Yeah,
takes
it does,
time
it
for
does, it
people
does.
to understand. Yeah.
No,
So
but now he looks at me in awe. Now he looks at me in awe. He says, Q, I don't know how you done it, you know. You know, like he's, remember, because he's back in there now. And he's thinking, Q, it's every time I think about you, I just think, bro, I'm proud of you. Because remember, he knows what man's been through and what man's been trying to do. He even said to me, bro, you used to tell me all the time, bro, like, focus on what you're doing. Like, you got so much potential to be somebody else. I used to tell him that all the time because because when I'm around him, I see him make certain phone calls that normal guys can't make. You
do
know,
you know
man is
what? Let me
phoning the
tell
head
you
of you.
something.
The head of
Let me tell you
university
something.
is phoning and say, yo, I want a meeting now.
Let me
Now he's
tell you
talking to me
something.
like that. And we get
Young
it within an hour we're in his meet in the office.
young Don has got some special gifts about him
I'm
that
telling you, bro.
98% of us don't have. He's got some. He's
I'm telling you,
talented. He's
bro.
gifted.
I'm telling
But
you.
Emily's dad has got
He learned it
certain
from his
unique
dad. He
things.
learned it from his dad. He learned it from his dad. He learned it from his
Yeah,
dad. He
yeah,
learned it from
yeah,
his
yeah,
dad.
yeah, yeah. So big up Smiley
100%. Not all of
Culture
us
as
got them
well. Big up
teachings.
Smiley Culture.
Smiley
Yeah,
had bare charisma, innit? He had bare charisma,
yeah,
Smiley.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I seen Smiley pull off things when I was young where you got to remember Smiley back in the 80s and the 90s, he was doing things that our
Bless up, friend.
community only caught up to 20, 25, 30 years later. He had a
Yeah, I
TV
know.
show
100%.
when TV shows wasn't even heard of. I remember he used to drive
Exactly.
around his Benz. He used to have a chopper around his chops around his head.
Round the
He used
heads. Round the
yeah,
heads. I
yeah,
never seen
yeah,
that in
yeah.
my life. Huh?
Yeah, never saw that in my life.
Pioneer.
You know what I mean? Like,
Originator.
he was pulling off big business deals when we didn't even know that you can make it into a boardroom. You know,
Exactly. He was in there.
so
And that's how
yeah,
Don's got them links. And that's why he's got them like that, where he can phone them like that, because he was in the room with his dad, with them, when they probably wasn't who they are today. That's what it is.
exactly,
Do you get what I'm saying?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
I've seen
exactly.
him call the chairmans up and say, I want a meeting now. Remember you owe my dad, you know, like do. I want a meeting. I want that meeting that you spoke about that you was due to me today. Do you get me? And then sometimes he just won't even go. Do you get what I'm saying? Getting distracted by other stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? Huh? But now
Yeah.
he's in there, he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. And I
Once
love it.
again, and that's my point when I talk about snakes and ladders. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's like sometimes and I'm not talking in Don's case because I can't speak for him at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm talking about. When we need to get the foundation sorted out, or we end up going high, then coming back
Mm-hmm.
low again. But
Mm-hmm.
with that said, so where can we get your music from? When is it
So
releasing?
basically tomorrow it'll be out on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, it'll be everywhere. All of the platforms where music is readily available, it'll be there. It'll be under the name QBE, Quincy Black English. Because I tried to do a rebrand thing. Um,
Mm,
yeah, and it's called Pray For You. It's got artwork. I've got 3 music videos. I'm not in the music videos. It's like choreography and that, telling a love story. So, and I'm singing like rock music, indie music, and I've got like a slow ballad as well. There'll be the
wicked.
3 singles that I'll be releasing one after the other. One's called Pray For You, one's called Bittersweet, and one's called Beautiful Day. Those ones will be released once a month. So today will be the first month. We'll try and release the next one on the 29th of April. And then, yeah, I'll shoot some videos after that with myself in. But until then, it's all about the art right now. Do you get what I'm saying? I just want man to concentrate on the art and the music, and yeah, and just hopefully, yeah, God willing, something good will come out of it.
It will, it will, it will. See, sometimes we don't see the blessings directly, but indirectly it
Mm-hmm.
always comes to visit. And the fact that you said the songs come from a good energy as well, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's also so important as well. So yes, are
Mm-hmm.
we doing this again next week?
100%,
All
hundred
right,
percent.
cool.
Oh, right now we're 42 likes. You reckon we could get 5 more likes at least? It
Yeah,
wouldn't
let's
hurt you,
5
lot.
more
There's
likes. Yeah,
42 you in there.
yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah,
There's 42 you in there.
yeah,
We must can
yeah.
get 5 more.
Just press the like button. How do they press the like
Yes.
button, Prince?
Yeah, basically, if you can't see the like button, in the corner, at the top corner, there's 3. Because I didn't know where it was, so I'm bearing with you lot. In the top corner, there's 3 little dots. Press the 3 dots, and the like button will come up.
you know what's
You see
funny,
it?
right? I've got Android,
Yeah.
and it's not in the corner. Funny enough. Oh, hold on one sec. Is it? How come I'm struggling to press it?
Can you see them three little dots?
No, I've just got the thumbs up.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think it's on the iPhones because the Android, yeah, my Android's like you. The thumbs up is just on the screen, but
Yeah,
on other people's phones, there's three little dots in the top corner. You press that, and then the lights come up. So we got to 31. Thank you, everyone.
brilliant. Appreciate you guys. Any questions before we jump off?
Yeah. Any
And also,
questions?
please check out the book as well. I'll
Yeah,
sign it for
please.
you. Yeah, it's got
And I'll put the
worksheets
link
in
in
it. It
the
covers everything.
description as well.
Yeah, it covers everything. It talks about your traumas, how to get to a place of excellence. It breaks
Mhm.
down all the different occupations and the vibrational frequencies, and how to move from one vibrational frequency to another. So
Mhm.
it's really, and then obviously it talks about the starting of my journey and my adventures and what's
Mhm.
happened. Minimal, and it really
Mhm.
goes in depth as well.
Mhm. Nice.
Brilliant.
So yeah, yeah. Solly just said the same thing. Top right hand corner for iPhone users, the three dots. So I think the Android is on the screen and the iPhone's in the top corner. And if you're new today and you ain't seen our last one, our first one, go and check that out as well. Cause that one was a very good one. They like that one.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Nearly
Yes. Yes.
7,000, nearly 7,000 in a week, which isn't bad. It's like
Wow.
1,000 a
Brilliant.
day for something
Yeah.
new. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Brilliant. Yeah. Also,
Some
join
people.
us. Join us as well. What's your Instagram? And
My Instagram is at I am QBE. No, I am underscore QBE. You
okay.
can follow that.
And my one's Kevin Bennett. So Kevin was Kevin underscore Bennett one. Yeah. So
Yes, I
BENNET
was
one.
poetic justice. Also, how can I get an A book? Joe Nicholas just asked, Kev.
Okay. So you can either get on Amazon, or you can go to my
Yes,
website
Dorian Richards is
and
Quincy.
go to whohelpsthehelpline.com, and I can sign it. I can't sign on Amazon because obviously they fulfill it on their side. But if you go
Mhm.
to whohelpsthehelpline.com, I can then
Mhm.
sign the book and send it out to you. But if not, you can get off of Amazon, which is fine either way it goes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
Well, that was a good one. Well, we nearly done 2 hours.
Will this help my PTSD? Yes, it
Oh, the
actually talks
book.
about yeah, it actually talks about PTSD in it as well. So it's not just me and my thoughts. I've got data from the CDC, the NHS, and a lot of big organizations as well. So there's a lot of facts and proof in it, which is all backed up.
Can we talk about that next week then?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure,
I've really got I've been through a lot of PTSD,
yeah,
so I'll
sure,
definitely be able to contribute
sure.
in that
Yeah,
area.
yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? PTSD is a good one to talk about because there's different types of PTSDs, I suppose.
They are, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
is there one more question for you? I swear. Hey, look, good man. What's that site again, please, brother? He wants the site
Um,
again.
Let me try and type it in. One second. Let me try and type it in. The
Yeah,
site
big up
is
Poet Justice and big up everyone in the chat as well.
oh,
Like we appreciate you being there. It's you lot why we're here.
yeah, 100%.
I'm
How
sure
come I
me and Kev we could talk to each other with zero people in there,
yeah,
but it would
yeah, yeah.
it wouldn't help us. It wouldn't help us. We us helping you helps us. That's what helps us.
So question,
We-
how do I type in here? I feel like a 95-year-old man around
Yeah, you know
around
what? I was trying
technology.
to type in there, and it's like I can't either. I was trying to press
Oh,
that, that. But then again, I think that was just me because obviously I done the thing. But oh yeah, that button where it looks like a chat, it says chat viewing options. Some message chats potential spam not visible. I just done live chat, all messages are available. But I can't type anything. There's
okay,
nowhere for
cool.
me to
So
type.
so the website is whohelpsthehelpline.com.
Hold
Um,
on 1 minute. Hold on. Hey, Maniac. Maniac Jermaine, could you write this please? Kevin's gonna say it.
yeah, whohelpsthehelpline.com. So
Who helps the
www.
helpline.com to
Yeah,
get the book.
yeah,
Please
to
write
get
that
the
for me,
book.
Jermaine. And thank you very much, Jermaine. You done really great for us.
Yeah, man, you've been powerful. I've just been watching the messages go like that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
That's what you call a proper friend, because I didn't even ask him to do that. But then I
No,
saw
no, no.
him doing that,
Jermaine's
and I thought,
powerful.
look at
He's
that.
powerful. He's powerful.
He's
I was watching.
powerful.
I'm like, raw. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
Quincy, you got staff and everything. What?
No, you listen, you can have staff that are your brothers that you don't even need to ask them
Yeah,
nothing. You
yeah,
get what I'm
yeah,
saying, bro?
yeah. Full love.
Love Jermaine, man. Did you get that, Jermaine? What is it? Who helps the helpline.com? Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Who
If not,
helps the
and life is hard,
helpline.com?
just go to Amazon, and Amazon will fulfill as well. I just can't sign it by Amazon.
Okay. So yeah, I think where's Jermaine? His fingers must be tired. His fingers must be tired. He must have been copy and pasting, because the amount of times he done our promos for us and still was chatting to other people as well. Huh? Yo, that might be a good angle as well. You have
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
team in the
yeah,
comments as well. You get what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
when we're talking, they're on the same page as us, which he's on the same page as us. He can still be communicating with them. That's actually a good angle that just got.
no
I
doubt,
ain't seen
no
nobody doing
doubt,
that before. That's
no
new.
doubt.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah, he's powerful. He's powerful.
Yeah, yeah, that's new. That's new. It's like
I
admin.
feel
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
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 yeah. Live
yeah.
admin.
No,
So who
man.
helps the helpline.com, yeah, everyone? If you must
Yeah,
have got that by now.
and also your music is gonna be on Apple, Spotify, is
Apple,
it?
Spotify, yeah, everywhere, all the good music platforms. These are everywhere. YouTube, everywhere you can think
Yeah.
of.
Please, guys, yeah, man, help get this song out there, man. Share the
Yeah, man.
song,
And it's a good
promote the
song as well,
song.
man. It's a good song. Everyone
Yeah,
likes it.
brilliant,
It's nothing but
brilliant,
positivity as well.
brilliant,
So,
brilliant.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Respect
then.
you all, man. Respect you all.
Yeah, man. Love.
Yeah.
I'm going to go now.
Oh,
And yeah, next week, PTSD.
yeah, PTSD, man. Listen, guys, our advice: stay close to God, even when you feel like God's not walking with you in the sand. Trust me, He's
Mm-hmm.
walking. He's carrying you. You know what I mean? So
100.
just keep going, man.
100.
Keep going. Yeah.
Jermaine
Yeah,
Maniac.
yeah. We'll play the song next time as well.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. One more. Hey, Jermaine, one more, please. Who helps the helpline.com? Just leave that on the screen.
Is it too hard to even play a snippet of it now? Is it a bit too hard to do that, or can we do that?
Um, um, where's my other phone? Yep, I can do it. Good night, everyone. Maniac, you're moving like an AI right now. You don't, you're not even listening to my.
We're gonna change his name to AI.
Yeah, they were just moving like an AI right now. They can't even hear, man.
We're gonna change his name to AI.
Oh, man. There we go. Oh, yeah, I got a speaker as well, Ken. Forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Please, let's hear it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard
Yeah,
that. It's amazing. Let's hear it.
yeah. Hey, but do you know they all like that tune that you pulled me up about that time? You know the one on the thingy beat, the cameo
Oh,
beat. Oh,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what?
yeah,
People was
yeah,
coming to me saying, "Bro, when's that one dropping?"
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's got to be
"Yeah,
that. We got to do something with that this summer.
100%. Summer, summer.
I don't know why, but my battery's dying.
Is it dying? Don't worry, I'll be quick.
Yeah.
I'll be quick. Bluetooth, Bluetooth. Here we go. Connection, connected. Pray for you. Pray for you. Where are you? There you go. I used to pray for you. How you wanna do my life now? Now I'm over you. Now you think you wanna come back. No, you know this love and heart. No one ever changed. But you are with your man, you know. Ain't no distance between us that's gonna change the way I do. When you was down low, you made a promise. Now I'm standing there looking astonished. With your new weave and new nail polish. I see through you, girl, go vanish. I used to pray for you.
Brilliant.
You wanna do me like that. Now I'm over you. Now you think you wanna come back. No. Nice. Nice.
Brilliant. Tomorrow. Download
Tomorrow, man.
tomorrow.
Please,
Download
please,
tomorrow.
all platforms. And
If
get the
you're not
book
going
as
to
well from
download,
Kev.
the least you can do is share it.
Yeah, at least share it or promote it for me, please. I'd
Yeah,
appreciate it. Seeing
yeah,
it
yeah,
everywhere, man.
yeah, man.
It
Yeah,
make me so happy, man.
yeah,
Suleiman Terry said it's hard still. Come on. Jack Nicholson's cold. Yeah, see? Everyone
yeah,
likes it. Everyone does like positivity, you know. We just need to be the ones to bring it forth. Do you get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, man. I like your smile as well, you know, Kev.
I love it. Brilliant,
Yeah, man.
brilliant.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right then, everyone.
All right, guys. All right,
Love.
peace, man. Thanks, man.
Peace,
I
man.
appreciate you this time.
Yeah,
Next
all the
week, same
time.
time, 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Next
next
week.
week, same time.
All
Respect.
right,
Big up.
Wednesday, 10
Nice
o'clock.
one. Love, everyone. Bye. Jermaine, big up, man.
Oh, sorry, not Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry. Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
What we doing?
Thursday.
Thursday or Wednesday?
What do you want?
Your choice.
Thursday.
All right,
Before
cool.
the weekend.
Thursday.
You get it out of the way before the weekend comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
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 All right, peace, man. All right, nice
All right,
one.
cool.
Thank you,
Love.
guys.
Easy.
Peace.
One.